All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another 27 Outs live here on this lovely Saturday. I am Ivan alongside Stefan. A lot has gone down, I should say, since the last time we were live. It was just 2 days ago. But forget the fact that we were last live 2 days ago. A lot has gone down over the past 24 hours. We're gonna get into all of that stuff, which includes Christian Walker going to the Astros, Goldie going to the Yankees, Josh Naylor being traded. But before we get into all of that, Stefan, and I know you have a lot to say about that and more, I think it's only right for us to start tonight's show with, paying respect to Major League Baseball's all-time stolen base leader and run scored leader being Rickey Henderson, who passed away earlier today. Was it, or was it yesterday?
Yesterday. Yeah.
Yesterday at the age of 65. And you know what's crazy? When you sent me that message earlier, Stefan, I was like, damn, that's insane. So I quickly looked up his name just to kind of go over. Obviously, I know who the guy is. We all should know, unless you're
Mhm.
pretty young. And if you're young, if you don't know, you're gonna learn tonight.
For
But I
sure.
say that because he
For
was
sure.
actually just about to turn 66 on Christmas Day.
Yeah. hmm
That's tough.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to the condolences and prayers to Ricky Anderson's family, his fans, his friends, everybody that knew Ricky well. I mean, he was the ultimate showman. Like, he was the dude that before we started this let the kids play, Ricky was let Ricky play, popping his collar, you know what I mean? Talking about I'm the greatest of all time. Ricky is the only baseball player I've heard that talked in third person. Well, Ricky's gonna steal this bag, and Ricky's gonna go do this. And the thing is, Ricky would do it. He would go, he would steal a bag, and you would look at him like, yo, this dude's acting like he's invincible. And on the basis he was, his one of his nicknames was the Man of Steel. So shouts out to the great Ricky Henderson. May he rest in peace. And listen, man, if you haven't already, you know what I mean, go look at his baseball reference, because his baseball reference is some video game
I'm glad
stuff.
you mentioned that, Stefan, because with all due respect, we all remember Ricky Henderson for his speed and the amount of runs that he was able to score. But in addition to that, we're talking about a guy who has won an MVP before,
Yeah.
a guy who was a two-time champion,
Yup.
and last but not least, dude, he finished his career with over 3,000 hits. Like,
3,000.
this man was the full package, if we're being honest.
Yo, he finished with 3,000 hits, 3,055 to be exact,
Right.
and he had 4,000 over 4,000 stolen bases. Just think about how crazy that is in an era today where we like, yo, dudes might actually steal, 50, 60, 70 bases. This dude was stealing. He stole 130 bases in 1 year.
Yeah, and I think he stole over 100 a few times in his career.
You know what I'm saying? So when we sit there and act like, yo, but these dudes today are impressive. Nah, yo. Ricky was out here thefting bags. Like, y'all can't stop me. And here's the thing. There was no pitch clock. There was no step off rule. There was no none of that. Ricky was just out. And the thing about it is, you knew he was out too. Like,
Right.
the catchers behind the plate used to be like, damn, bro. Ain't no way I'm throwing this guy out. Because he's going to take.
And I'm sure this was during the time when pitchers actually worked on their pickoff
Yeah,
movement.
bro. And
Not
that's
to
the.
say that pitchers don't, do what they need to do when it comes to
Nah.
that nowadays. But let's be honest, Stefan. I don't think you and I have to be on a major league field to know that these guys aren't putting in the same amount of work as dudes were being put in back then,
But also, here's the thing: the game has changed now too, where it's a lot more power centric, and they don't want you going stealing bases. Speaking of Ricky and stealing some bags, man,
Let's watch
let's
this together.
let's
Shout out to
look at.
everybody who's watching right now so
You know what I
far.
mean? Let's look at Ricky's greatness. I mean, still third, no problem.
Almost took his leg off too.
Hold back, move out my way, dude.
Give
I'm
me your leg
outside.
while I'm at
You know what
it.
I'm saying? And just to know, damn, 1,000 stolen bases in 1,232 attempts. Do you know how sick that is? Just to know that that's a thing, right? Like, that is incredible. Also, I just want to point this out for the record. Like, he not only stole bases, right, but he hit home runs. Look at this. He knew it was gone too. Like, all right, I'm gonna just pimp this real quick. Hold that. And here's the thing.
Ridiculous.
Here is the beautiful thing about Rickey Henderson's game, right? I just wanted to show Rickey stealing some bags because I thought
As we
needed to see
should.
that.
As we
But
should.
here's the beautiful thing about Rickey Henderson's game. You know, Rickey Henderson still leads baseball with 81 leadoff home runs. Nobody in baseball has, I think, the highest total is, I think, George Springer had something like 30 or something like that. Rickey Henderson has 81 leadoff home runs. So we talk about the speed, we talk about the run scored. This guy Rickey Henderson was doing it all.
Right.
And he played for so many teams. He played for 9 different teams. He played for the Yankees. He played for San Diego. He played for the Dodgers. He played for the Red Sox. He played for Oakland 3 separate times. You know what I'm saying? And you look at Rickey and you're like, damn, bro. Like, you're the epitome of what the game was beautiful about the game. You know what I'm saying? You look at a guy like him and you're like, that's what's beautiful about the game. A guy like Rickey Henderson who never made it look difficult. He always made it look easy on the field, but I always like that Rickey had some swagger to him. He had some, let's make baseball fun. Forget about how people are going to perceive this, or I'm a hot dogger, or I'm selfish. Rickey was the man, yo. Because Rickey would tell you, yo, I'm the greatest of all time, and you can't do nothing about it. And, there's a story that they told today on MLB Network. Harold Reynolds told the story. Rickey Henderson was dealing with hamstring issues in 1985.
Still stealing bases?
Yeah. I think he had like 40 that year with a messed up hamstring.
Now they're crying nowadays. Take me out.
So Harold Reynolds steals 60. You know Harold Reynolds, the MLB Network correspondent. He was in Seattle. He stole 60 bases. Rickey Henderson calls him during the offseason, like the next, 2 days after the season ends. You should be ashamed of yourself. You only had 60. Rickey's going to have 60 next year by the break. Rickey Henderson had 61 stolen bases by the All-Star break the next season?
No surprise.
Rickey was that dude, yo.
One last thing I want to say, too, is shout out to you, Stefan, for, of course, deciding to wear the A's hat. I think it's perfect for a night like tonight. Shout out to everyone who is watching live right now. We definitely appreciate that. But I do want to say this, though, when it comes to the A's, because right now they're going through a lot, right? And while, we all understand that, listen, I don't know what you're going to do in terms of honoring Rickey Henderson. We obviously saw the statement that was put out by the A's. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, by the way, at 27outs3C. And, of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. But the Instagram, for those of you who haven't seen it, go ahead and check that out right now.
Yep.
But, yeah, I don't know if they're going to put a patch on the jersey for the entire season, but you better do something. You have to.
Here's what I'm going to tell you right now. You know what I would do if I'm the Oakland A's? If I'm the A's, rather, because they're not in Oakland anymore. And that's why this hurts even more, man. Because Rickey was Oakland. Rickey was, Oakland. They named the field after me. He was born and raised in Oakland. Played with the A's 3 separate times. That's why this hurts. Because Rickey's Oakland through and through. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of know, like, damn, he was Oakland. And to know that he passes away and they leave the city of Oakland the same year he passes away, there's something very poetic but also very sad about the idea that the person that is synonymous with Oakland A's baseball in the era of them winning championships, in the era of them being relevant, is now gone along with the team. And when they played in Oakland last, they played on Rickey Henderson Field. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember him throwing out the ceremonial first pitch to his daughter in a series against the Yankees. I think it was the second game of the series. He throws out the ceremonial.
Was that
pitch.
This past season in 2024?
Yes, that was a couple months ago.
Damn.
And you start to realize, man, life is very finite. Like, you could be here today and you could be gone tomorrow. So We don't usually talk like this often on the show. It's a baseball show. We want to have fun. We want to have a good time. We're gonna get to the baseball tonight. Please don't misunderstand.
I think they're rocking with what we've been talking about so far,
You know what I mean?
respectfully. So as
We're
they
gonna
should.
we're gonna get to the baseball. We're gonna talk about all the stuff that happened today. But do me a favor, man. If you have loved ones and holiday season is approaching, and you have people you love and people that love you, if you can, put your arm around them and tell them you love them, because tomorrow is not promised, and 65 is just way too young. So shouts out to the OG Rickey Henderson. Let's hold a quick moment of silence here for Rickey, and let's get back
Also, too, while we do
to
that, Stefan, I do agree with the fact that we should do that. But for those of you who are watching us right now, I think an even better way to honor him is while we are doing this moment of silence. How about we drop some 24s in the chat by those of you who are
for
watching right
sure,
now?
for
So we're gonna
sure,
take a few seconds and drop some 24s in the chat, and then we'll get
for
into
sure.
the other things, of course.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right,
So
cool.
here we go. Again, before we get into all of the extra stuff, our condolences to Rickey Henderson and the
His
family.
family, yep.
I don't know if he had kids, but if
Yes,
he's got kids,
yes.
okay. So the kids as
Mm-hmm.
well. Shout out to everyone who is close to Rickey Henderson, I would say. All
Yeah,
right.
man.
So as I mentioned at the top of tonight's live, we had a few moves, and we've also had some other things that are going around in the league. Stefan, earlier today, and that's why it's very important for you guys to make sure that you follow us on Instagram, because you'll be able to find out when things break pretty quickly, I should say. But yeah, Stefan, you shared some news with me earlier today. The Yankees deciding to sign Paul Goldschmidt
Mm-hmm.
on a 1 year deal. Tell us your
12.5.
thoughts, and then I'll follow up.
Let me tell you this. Just knowing how they were moving and just knowing that this was a possibility, I gotta be honest. I looked at his numbers right now. I looked at his second half, and he had a 900 OPS and hit 15 homers in the second half and was Goldie. I have no problem with this signing for a year, because essentially what this means to me is that Paul Goldschmidt is going to be either batting sixth or seventh in your lineup, because I do think there's another big move coming, guys. I love when the Yankees basically they put out smoke signals. Oh, we think we're you know what I mean? We trying to stay under the luxury tax. We don't really
If
want to
that
do.
happens, though, that would be a total of five big moves. Because now, whether people want to have their own personal feelings when it comes
Right.
to signing Goldschmidt,
Gotcha.
he's an older guy, but Stefan, I know the guy could still rake, especially when
Yeah.
it comes to lefties.
Mm-hmm.
But five big moves in one off season, that says a lot.
And I
If it
don't think
happens.
I don't think they're done yet. I think they're gonna do one more thing. If I had to guess, if you had to put a gun to my head right now, I'm saying they're gonna trade for Nolan Arenado, and he's gonna be a third baseman next year. That's just I don't know.
And I've heard that they did try, because I believe earlier this offseason, the Yankees did in fact offer Marcus Stroman, excuse
Mm-hmm.
me, I should say, in a deal for Nolan. And
Mm-hmm.
the Cardinals actually made that decision themselves. They said absolutely not. They didn't
Yeah.
even bother to go back to Nolan about that.
Right. Well, here's the thing I will say, and Brian Hoke and John Dutton, and they cover the Cardinals and the Yankees respectively for MLB.com, along with Monk Feinsand. They wrote an article last night suggesting the idea that Nolan might be more amenable to waiving his no trade clause coming to New York, because Goldschmidt is the first baseman. Now, if you look at the Yankee lineup right now, with Nolan Arenado playing third, I gotta tell you, that's a hell of a lineup. Even if Nolan gives you limited production, let's say Nolan only hits 20 home runs, drives in about 80 runs, you sandwich in him in between, you know, Cody Bellinger, Aaron Judge, you know what I mean? Jazz Chisholm, like Giancarlo Stanton might hit 30 home runs for you, and that's on the downside. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're walking in the middle of a lineup where you're like, yo, this team is definitely better than last year's team. And last
Yeah.
year's team made the World Series. Now, listen, and I just want to say this for the record because I need people to stop doing this. You are not replacing Juan Soto. There is no replacing Juan Soto.
I
Juan
still hear
Soto
that
is,
name to this day.
but you're not. What people need to understand is this is not about replacing Juan Soto. This is about trying to put a complete team together for 2025. Because the one thing that the Yankees have lamented all offseason, because look at the moves they made. Goldschmidt, Gold Glove caliber first baseman. Cody Bellinger, above average defender. Like, they're trying to get better in the areas that they weren't good at last year. You understand? So when people sit there and say, yo, but why did they do this? And why are they getting older? And first of all, stop that narrative too. Because there's only two guys in the lineup right now that are above 35 years old. Paul Goldschmidt and Giancarlo Stanton. Everybody else is 32, 33. They got 6 guys in the starting lineup right now that are in their 20s. Can we stop what the Yankees are getting older? They're not. That's not true. That's a myth. Right? Like, you're not replacing Juan Soto. Let's just call it what it is. Call a spade, and be 100% honest about what we're trying to do here. We're not trying to replace Juan Soto. We're just trying to get better for 2025. Whatever that looks like, whatever incarnation you do it in, that's the reason why Brian Cashman has made these moves. And I'll say one last thing, and then I want to pass it off to you, Ivan. Mm-hmm. I'm at the point now where if you're looking for this magic elixir where you get players in here that are as good as Juan Soto, you're going to be miserable next season because it ain't going to be that. With that being said, and I'll leave it like this, they're going to win more games next year than they won last year.
Yeah, I agree.
They're going to be better this year than they were last year. Mm-hmm. Whether or not they go to the World Series again or do what they're trying to do again and repeat the whole idea, that remains to be seen, right? Like, we don't know what they're going to do yet. But the idea that they're somehow worse today than they were last year is laughable to me.
I agree. I think, and listen, everyone has their own opinion, and that's okay, especially if you're a fan. And that's what most of us are at the end of the day. But listen, the one thing that I love about what the Yankees have done so far to this point in the offseason after missing out on Juan Soto is the fact that they have addressed everything else that was also going to be a concern, even if they were to bring back Juan Soto, right? Because be honest, we already knew that the Yankees needed a new first baseman. We already knew that the Yankees should keep Chisholm at second and find a true third baseman. Right. We already knew that the Yankees needed another outfielder. Right. So all of this is information that we had already known coming into this offseason. Right. So for anyone, whether you're a Yankee fan, a Yankee hater, or whatever it is that you are, mm-hmm. nobody could sit here and say that the Yankees have done anything bad so far this offseason. And if you're saying that, I just simply wouldn't understand where you're coming from. For those of you who are watching right now, shout out to every single one of you. Let us know what you think about what we just got into in the comment section. But go ahead, Stephen.
Also, to the 10 people watching right now, put a like on this video, share this video, let people know we're rocking right now. Also, if you haven't followed us already, go follow us right now. Hit that notification bell so whenever we go live, you'll get a notification that, hey, the boys are going live. Let me hit the follow button. You know what I mean? And let's see if we could get the algorithm popping. You know what I mean? Let the algorithm know we in here. Listen, I just want to make 2 points real quick. There is no perfect offseason. So if anybody thinks that, but I want them to do this and do that and do this and do that. We all want them to get better. We all want teams to improve. We all want teams to do what the Yankees have done, what the Astros have done, what other teams are trying to do, what the Cubs have finally done. They've improved, right? Like, I'm not mad at the idea that you're trying to get better because that's the whole point. But for everybody who says, but they didn't do enough and they didn't do this, you know, with these moves right now, the Yankees are at $298 million and they're right up against the luxury tax threshold. which means that if the Yankees spend significantly more money, they have to pay 50 cents on every dollar that they're over moving forward for the rest of this season, right? So people are saying, well, why they're so quick to trade Jazz and trade Trent Grisham and trade this one? Because the Yankees know economically, if we could get that $15 million off our books, that'll help us do some things and that'll help us get ready for trying to stay below the tax. Because I got news for you guys. They're going after Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Kyle Tucker next year.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
I don't care that Vladdy said he would never play for the Yankees. If the Yankees came with the right bag and you put Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in Yankee Stadium next year with Judge and another year Bellinger or however they choose to go about this, your lineup is looking awfully scary next season. And if you don't think they love the idea of putting Kyle Tucker in left field or center field, you are out your rabbit ass mind. They're going to try and sign both players. I'm just letting you know that now. Whether they do both is up to them. But they're going to try. Because Judge is getting older. You know what I mean? Cole is getting older. Rodon is getting older. Fried is already, in his 30s. So you got to capitalize on this window now. But shouts out to them for doing it. Shouts out to, I think Goldie's going to play great here. I just got the sense that this guy's a good clubhouse guy. He ain't going to, be about no drama. He's going to go out there and do his thing.
When you consider his age, if I'm not mistaken, I think Goldie's going to be 37 next season.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. And listen, I'm not trying to wish any bad on Goldie, but let's be honest here. I think this is probably going to be his last shot at trying to win a World Series.
Mm-hmm. I think it's up there. Listen, you got a lot of people. By the way, I don't want to forget this. You got a lot of people saying that trade that the Yankees made last night, trading Jose Trevino for Fernando Cruz and the backup catcher Alex Jackson.
Oh, yes, the deal that they made with the Cincinnati Reds.
I'm going to tell you right now, that guy Fernando Cruz just made the Yankees bullpen 10 times better than it was yesterday.
Right. I think the catcher that was involved in that deal is irrelevant, who the Yankees got in return, because we all know that Austin Wells is our ride or die for the next however many years.
Yeah, but you need a back.
However many games he plays isn't going to be that much of a deal, I would say. But I agree with what you said in terms of the reliever and the fact that the strikeout rate is up there.
Hear this stat, yo. I heard this yesterday. I damn near was like, oh my God, what the hell? Yo, 60 innings, 109 strikeouts in 60 innings.
That's elite, especially as a reliever.
Nah, he walked the yard now. Don't get it twisted. He walked everybody and their mama. But if you don't think Matt Blake is sitting there going, you struck out how many dudes in 60? 109. Now I'm putting you in here with Devin Williams and this airbender changeup. Now I got you back in here with Johnny Loizaga. Now I got you in here with, you know what I mean?
Luke
now,
Weaver. Yeah.
Oh my God. Now we looking at, this might be the best starting staff in the American League. Also, kids, this has been reported. This is a fact. Roki Sasaki met with the Yankees in the dead of night on Thursday night. Yes. He met with the Mets during the day, and then Cash and the contingent flew out there dead of night, didn't say nothing, and was like, we want to meet with Roki. Do I think Roki Sasaki is going to be a Yankee? I do not. But if you're telling me that Roki Sasaki has a chance to be a New York Yankee in that rotation already, oh my God. You might be looking at the best pitching staff as a whole in baseball. Not just the American League, in baseball. Wow.
Now, I don't know if this is true, Stefan, and I think now is a good time to bring this up, especially when we're live. And shout out to everyone who's watching us live right now.
For sure.
We appreciate it. But I think some people are actually wondering the same thing, because I heard over the past couple of days that while Sasaki has met with some big market teams, deep down inside, that isn't necessarily where he would like to end up. I don't know how true that is, but...
Well, a lot of it is he wants to know that there's a good pitching development program where he's going. They're going to continue to develop him, get him to the point where he can continue to expound and grow in his craft and become a better pitcher than he is right now. And that's saying something for a 23-year-old that has unlimited, untapped potential, right? Like, so I could see where Roki Sasaki is on some, yo, I just don't want to go anywhere. I'm trying to go to a place right now where wherever I go, I want to make sure that my best interest is being thought about. Whoever signs me, that they can continue to develop me as a pitcher, as a person, and I'm able to feel comfortable here, right? So this is where, to me, big market doesn't really play a big part because he's gonna get the same money relatively wherever he signs, right? It's not gonna be that big of a deal. But the Yankees have two advantages. One, you've seen them develop pitchers. We've seen them do this. Nestor Cortez, they took him from a relatively nobody and turned Nestor Cortez into Devin Williams and perhaps adding to a sick bullpen and making it 10 times better, right? So you took a guy like Roki Sasaki and you say to yourself, well, if Roki Sasaki ends up with the Yankees, then you could even do something crazier, which is you could take Clark Schmidt and you could tell Clark Schmidt, hey, buddy, it was nice knowing you. We're going to trade you for something, corner infielder, impact bat, you know what I mean? Add a prospect or two, and we can get it moving.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So and the date I want to keep in mind, because we're going to go live that day, January 15th. What date is that, Ivan? It's January 15th. What day is that? Do you know?
January 15th, I'll tell you right now, is on a Wednesday.
So we will be live that Wednesday night, and I'm going to tell you why, guys, because that is the day Roki Sasaki's posting window ends.
Oh, so that means from now until January 15th, he has to make a decision?
He has to figure out where he's signing. If he doesn't sign, then the posting window closes and he has to go back to Japan.
That's interesting because then that means he only has about 3 weeks left, or maybe less, in terms of meeting with teams.
He got to figure this out relatively quick, and it got to happen now. So I'm just getting to let you know, wherever Roki Sasaki signs.
That's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up.
We will be live for that because that might be something that Sox fan for life you might be interested in. He's going to meet with the Red Sox at some point. If there's any Cub fans in here, he met with the Cubs on Friday. He met with the Mets and Yankees on Thursday. He's going to meet with more teams. The one team that we know is not getting an invite is the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies general manager David Dombrowski came out and said, well, we didn't get a meeting at the table. We don't see us getting a meeting with him. So Philly doesn't seem to be in the mix. The Dodgers, the Padres, and a few other teams, I expect to have meetings with him. The Red Sox are going to meet with him sometime shortly after the new year or right before it. So the Roki Sasaki sweepstakes are going to pick up intensely here in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So guys, just keep in mind, January 15th is a Wednesday. We don't usually put lives out or tell you we're going to be live that day, but if this brother signs somewhere, me and this guy will be live that night to break down where he signs and where he fits in that rotation.
Yeah, and make sure you follow us on Instagram at 27outs3C because that is exactly where you guys would be able to find out whether we're going live on the 15th, which, in fact, we're letting you know now, but just so that you guys don't forget, because that is, a couple weeks from now. In addition to that, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Shout out to all 10 of you who are here right now rocking with us. We appreciate it. But the YouTube channel as well. If you put our post notifications on, you won't miss a thing. I'll tell you that much. And that goes for our live shows, our pre-recorded shows, and also our shorts, because we do also put out a fair share amount of shorts as well.
Yes, we do. So keep an eye on the shorts. I think there's going to be some more shorts coming soon. We got, the editor-in-chief, Rick out here. He's going to be doing some shorts for us. Also, guys, another programming note. We're going to be doing a live watch-along of the Grand Slam single, which is the Robin Ventura Grand Slam against the Braves in '99. So if you guys want to spend the little holidays with us, we haven't figured out what holiday we're gonna do it on, but we got to talk to this guy and see what's what because it
Well,
is.
it won't be on the day of the holiday,
No,
but it
no,
will be
no.
around that time.
Probably. So let's say we'll probably do it a couple days after Christmas. I want to say
Right,
maybe the
right.
26th or the 27th. We'll put a
Mhm.
link out, let you guys know. Just come in here, rock out, coquito, eggnog, whatever you sipping on. Come
Yeah, it's funny
in.
you say the coquito because I'm actually gonna have mine a couple days before that watch along, so I might have a little something to sip on that night.
You know what I mean? So yeah, bring the coquito and let's get to sipping. Let's have some fun and let's do this watch along, man. I'm excited for it. And that's another thing is we're gonna be able to get you guys in here to, you know, what you guys think and all that type of stuff. But we got a crap ton of comments. Ivan, let's get to these comments, brother.
Yeah,
And
well, we'll get into the comments, and then we also have two other topics that we would like to get into as well.
for sure, for sure. But let's get into these comments because they kind of built up. So
Let's
I'm gonna
start.
I'm gonna let you handle that. See what the people talking about. In here.
Shout out to Goat. He said, we've been locked in this winter. He's been loving all the streams. Yo, Goat, shout out to you, bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
If you're
Word.
watching right now, which I hope you are, we appreciate the love.
Appreciate the love, man. Word. Ray says preach when we talk about Rickey. Appreciate that, Ray.
Shout out Ray. Ray's a day one, actually,
How
man.
you
Shout
doing,
out Ray.
man? For sure, for sure, for sure. Goat has an interesting question here. I wonder if the Rays would be interested in trade for Brandon Lowe. Would love him at second base for the Yankees. Yankee fans just think every player is old now. Josh Donaldson now. That's funny. That's funny.
The
That's
Brandon
funny.
Lowe wouldn't be bad because he is a lefty bat. My
I
only
don't know
issue
if the
with Lowe is the fact that he misses too many games.
And I don't know if the Rays do that. Now, if you're talking about Nathaniel Lowe from Texas,
Right.
I think I'd be interested in that if I could make that happen.
It's funny you mentioned that because I've heard that the Rangers sort of do have him available via the trade market.
Yeah. Like if I'm the Yankees and I could scoop up Nathaniel Lowe to play second, I don't mind keeping Jazz at third if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just be keeping a buck, and it's another left-handed bat. Sox fan for life is in here. Paul Goldschmidt. I feel like they just signing guys. Just sign guys. What's up, fellas? Nah, we disagree
I
on
think
that.
it's a necessity if you were to ask me.
Nah, yeah, we disagree on that. Sox fan. I think Paul Goldschmidt is gonna play very well, and he has a lot of power the other way, which he's gonna be able to exhibit at Yankee Stadium. So I like the signing a lot.
One other thing I want to say too is now Sox fan for life. While I don't think that any of the signings have been bad, even though I'm a Yankee fan, but I'm able to put that aside. And Sox fan for life, I'm pretty sure you could tell that about us. But it might feel that way because they've done so much over the past week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's why I think he would say something like that. But when you really break it down, outside of whether they were going to land Juan Soto or not, they needed to make more moves anyway.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I think that not landing Juan Soto has given them the freedom to say we're not tied down to a certain number. We're not tied down to a certain limitation. We can go spread this out over, many, many, many years if we choose to. So Sox fan for life says he's definitely meeting with Boston around New Year's. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's something we gotta watch. Goldie's a right-handed.
I disagree with that, man.
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Sox fan for life. That's kind of tough.
I know he's getting up there in age, but one thing that was very important, especially when a guy like Goldschmidt is getting up there in age, is something that Stefan mentioned earlier tonight, which was the second half that Goldschmidt had and how great he is when it comes to hitting left-handed pitching.
And he murders left-handed pitching. And also, I don't care what you do early in the season. You know why I signed Goldschmidt? Yo, you know why you here. I need you in September and October. The rest of this is just noise at this point.
But now that we actually say that, let's really think about it. When you go back and look at the two teams that Goldie has played for, being the Arizona Diamondbacks and the few years that he spent with the St. Louis Cardinals, I don't think he's ever had a legitimate shot at going on a deep playoff run.
He hasn't,
all.
No, he hasn't. This will be the first one. If he gets the shot with the Yankees, this will be his first legitimate run at it. And listen, we talk about Paul Goldschmidt like he's old as dirt. The guy won an MVP at 35 years old. He's 2 years removed from an MVP. So I'm not saying the MVP is in there, but what I'm saying is like the drop off may not be as precipitous as everybody is leading you to believe. Also, he has more protection in his Yankee lineup than he's had throughout his entire run in St. Louis.
You know what's one thing that I actually said to a few of my boys earlier today, and shout out to some of them. They may be watching right now. But listen, worst case scenario, Goldschmidt has a down year with the Yankees. A down year from someone like Goldschmidt is more than anything that the Yankees have gotten out of first base.
You got to remember, they ranked 30 in all offensive categories at first base last year. If you told me right now Paul Goldschmidt's going to hit 25 home runs, drive in 90 runs, and hit 260, I'll tell you, you know what? Sign me up for that. Sign me up for that. And the thing is, Paul Goldschmidt plays every day. He doesn't take games off. He played 151 games last year. So let's not kill goalies as if he's you know what I mean?
Sox fan for life. He's being too harsh tonight, man.
What do you
Be easy on us.
Well, but that's when I need him to do it. Is after the break. I don't care what you do for the first couple months of the season. You're not. Point. What I'm saying is he has the luxury. Paul Goldschmidt has the luxury of saying, you know what? First half is a bit of a struggle for me. I haven't found rhythm. But you're in a lineup with Aaron Judge. You're in a lineup with guys that are going to be able to mask whatever production you get. And I'm not putting Goldschmidt in the middle of my lineup. I'm putting him at the bottom of the lineup. Sometimes even a little lower than the bottom of the line. For me, Paul Goldschmidt is batting no higher than 6th this entire year. And if he is batting higher than 6th, that means you got more injuries than you know what to do with. Right? So let's not act like Paul Goldschmidt has to be this all-star great player. He doesn't.
The Yankees also don't need him to do that. How the Cardinals needed him to do, and how the Diamondbacks needed him to do. So while I understand playing in New York comes with this general amount of pressure, but at the same time, one thing that you mentioned about a minute ago, Stefan, and I thought it was great, was the fact that Goldschmidt has never played in a lineup that is going to have as many guys to help him out, such as the Yankee one.
Nah, I mean, at that point, if I'm being honest, if I'm being honest, I want whatever production he's going to give me because it's going to be better than what I had last year.
That's my point. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not get greedy here. Like, you understand? Like, they needed first of all, you also need professionalism. See, this is what we talked about the other day. For those who didn't watch the video the other day, what did me and you just finished talking about the other day, Ivan, when we spoke about veterans not having a place in the modern game? You sign a Goldschmidt because you need a veteran present at first base. You need a guy that's going to be able to come in, do his job, not make mistakes, be a professional. I'm good with that, right? I'm good with that. That's
a great comment right there, by the way, by Rory. He says, circular lineup. We just need one more above average infielder.
Rory, what's up, brother? Welcome to the convo. Hit that like, hit that share. Welcome to the family, brother. Also, hit that subscribe button and let people know we in the building. Rory with the... You know what, brother? You deserve one of these because you out here early. You out here early. So where that? Hold on. See, they got my sound effects all messed up. I don't even know what the sound effects are right now. Hold on. You know what I mean?
Let me see some of these other comments.
We right back to it.
You found it?
You're one of those, know what I mean? Gotta get
Rory.
Gotta get one of those in there, a little from Flex Bomb out here. Because that's what you want to do. We know Brian Cashman likes surprises. Imagine somehow he pulls off a trade for. Listen, I don't know if Manny is in the cards, but can I tell you a name that I did hear? I tell you a name that I did hear today that made my ears perk up just a little bit. And I don't know if it's circulating loudly, but I would not be surprised if Alex Bregman somehow, if they fit that under the luxury tax and get Alex Bregman in here.
It's funny you mentioned Alex Bregman because this comment that we got here by Dante is perfect timing. He says, hot take, but I'll rather trade for Arenado instead of signing Bregman to a 7-year deal.
Appreciate the love, Dante. Listen, either way you go, you can't lose. First of all, what's up, brother? Welcome to the family, bro. Hit that like, hit that share. Welcome. Come on in. Hit the sub button. Let them know. Listen, I don't disagree, but I don't think you can lose either way. But here's the thing I'm going to tell you. I don't think Alex Bregman is getting the 7-year deal, or he would have got it, because teams are allocating dollars to different players right now. So if there is a 7-year deal to be had, he would have gotten it already. I don't think it's out there, right? I think Bregman's going to have to settle for a 4-year deal with an option, or maybe a 3-year deal with an option for the 4th year. I don't know if there is a 6 or 7-year deal out there for him, and if there is, who gives it to him? Right? Like, you can make the argument right now where we are in the off season. I don't believe that it's out there for him.
Yeah, and one other thing I want to talk about too, like not only is Alex Bregman asking for something very close or maybe upwards of $200 million, but
Right.
he's about to enter his age 31 season, right? So if you break that down, he's essentially asking teams, yo, can I rock with you guys until I'm 38 years old?
Yeah, I
That's
don't,
what a 7-year deal means.
and I don't know if teams right now, because here's the thing. Well, you got to understand, baseball has gotten very analytical, and I don't think the idea of them trading or signing a guy for 7 years at 31 years old whose offensive numbers have begun to take a slip, his barrel rate has decreased a full, like, 2 percentage points. Teams are not running to sign a guy like that to a 7-year deal. Like, even Nolan on the 3-year deal is a bit of a risk. I'm going to be honest. I like Nolan defensively, but you telling me I got to watch Nolan Arenado hit for the next 3 years, I'm not in love with the idea. Like, is it something I could get behind for the moment, just to see the Yankees get back to a World Series? Yes. But if there was such interest in Nolan Arenado, he would have been signed. He would have been traded already. I don't think there's much of a trade market out there for him. I think the Dodgers don't want to do it, and the Dodgers want every star, and they don't want him. So what does that tell you?
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees have interest, but I don't even think it's that serious of interest. If you gave me true serum today, here's what I'll tell you that what they'd rather do. Not what Stefan or Ivan would do, but the Yankees, I think they would probably sign Jorge Polanco to play second base, keep Jazz at third, let Goldie play first, and keep Volpe at shortstop. That's what their ideal infield would look like. Now, but if you could get off Marcus Stroman's money, if you could get off Trent Grisham's money, then that opens up more money for you to possibly do something else. And if you sign Roki Sasaki, then Paul Goldschmidt becomes tradable. Then Luis Heel becomes tradable, and then you have more options, right?
Right.
And that's what you want to see the Yankees front office have, is options. Every front office wants options, not just the Yankees, but everyone.
Yeah.
And so I don't necessarily believe that they're done dealing. I don't think they're done investigating things. I think they're going to kick tires all the way through. And the one thing I will say is that they always make moves right before we leave for New York. Whether it's the end of spring training, a couple weeks before it ends, there's always going to be more moves made. So I wouldn't, put anything past that. But
I want to get into something because I know we just got into what we were talking about over the past couple of minutes because of that comment by Dante. And shout out to you, Dante. Thanks for watching us live tonight, and also everybody else who's watching as well. And also friendly reminder: make sure you follow us on Instagram at 27outs3c, and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. But yeah, so we spoke about Bregman. Speaking about Bregman, I think it's right that we get into what his former team did over the past 24 hours, and that was find a new first baseman in Christian Walker.
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a hell of a get. That's a hell of a get for them. And Christian Walker in that ballpark, 30 home run guy, Gold Glove first baseman, gonna help the Astros a lot. Understand he's 34, understand the age, understand all of that. But this guy's a professional ball player. If he didn't hurt his oblique at the end of last season, he probably would have ended up with over 30 home runs. He finished with 26 home runs and 84 RBIs last year. He probably would have been better if he was healthier and on the field. So, like, Houston got better. Did they get all the way where they want to go? Nah, but they got better. And that's
And
kind of
also too, he's going to a lineup that has Altuve in there, Jordan
Alvarez.
Alvarez. Like
Yup.
he's gonna have more help, I would say.
And I'm going to tell you right now, don't sleep on Isak Paredes in that ballpark. Isak Paredes is a pull specialist. Isak Paredes is gonna turn around at this new ballpark, which I'm gonna still refer to as Minute Maid. I'm sorry, y'all, but it'll always be the juice box to me. We ain't referring to it by its new name. Isak Paredes is gonna hit 30 home runs in a yard. Deadpool power to the Crawford boxes if he's healthy. That lineup looks a little bit more
now that we're talking
lengthened.
about the Astros and Isak Paredes, I think the Astros might be done. I think
I
whatever it
think so,
was that
yeah.
they were trying to do in terms of trying to land a new third baseman,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that Alex Bregman has rejected whatever it was that they offered him,
They
I think
offered
they're
him
gonna rock out with signing Christian Walker, moving on from Kyle Tucker, and now Paredes is your third baseman. I
third
would say.
baseman. Yeah, I think they're done. I think if they're gonna do, they still want to trade Alex Presley. So Alex Presley is due $14 million this year. They want him.
Ryan
Ryan
Presley.
Presley. I'm sorry, Ryan Presley. They want to trade him. So if they move on from Ryan Presley, that's $14 million you're saving that you can allocate somewhere else. The problem is they haven't had the resources enough to trade him. So I wonder if the GM Dana Brown is on the phone right now, like, yo, who needs a reliever? And the thing about relievers is they're always hot commodities. So somebody will take them, but I think they're gonna want the Astros to eat some of the money. I don't think they're gonna want to do it just straight off the rip. But the Astros are done with the heavy lifting. I feel like they're not gonna trade. Um, they're not trading the lefty pitcher. Um, who's the lefty pitcher? Why is it? Why am I drawing?
Valdez,
Valdez.
Amber Valdez.
Valdez.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not trading Valdez. Um, thank you, brother. Thank you. We can get to these comments. Thank you. Appreciate that. They're not trading Fromber. They're not going to deal anymore from the starting rotation. So I really do believe that at this point you're pretty much looking at the Houston Astros team with the exception of maybe a tweak here in and out of the bullpen. Maybe they do something on the fringes in terms of the outfield, but this is your team going into 2025. It's just not a bad team. It's not Kyle Tucker and Alex Bregman, but it ain't a bad team.
Yeah, I think here's my very 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 early, and I know I said very few
Mm-hmm.
times there, but I truly mean that when I say this. But while I still see the Astros being a playoff team in the American League with the changes that they have made,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how far they can actually go,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you remove a guy like a Kyle Tucker, who is an elite
Mm-hmm.
player. No disrespect to Christian Walker because we know how good he is on both ends, offense and defense,
Mm-hmm.
and Paredes as well. I'm sure he's going to do well with them. But I just hope that they're able to bounce back from that loss in a positive way, I would say.
So the problem is with Houston is they've had a lot of pitching injuries. Jose Urquidy, who they released, was hurt most of last year. Christian Javier needed Tommy John as well. So they're dealing with a lot of injuries in the starting rotation. So my question is, what does it look like if the injuries continue to happen in the starting rotation? The lineup is okay, but if you're not going to be able to get innings out of your starting rotation, that's when you're going to have to deal with the idea that we may be in a similar position than we were last year. You know what I'm saying? Where we need innings from the starters. We need innings from our bullpen. Like, you need innings, and when you don't get them, that's a byproduct because you're always injured, and guys have to make spot starts, and you got to do things that you're not really accustomed to doing. So that's why I think the Astros are in a very wait and see place at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of deals and being aggressive, somebody woke up Chris Antonetti and that whole staff in Cleveland because my gosh, they woke up. They're alive.
Not
There's
in
a
a good way, I would say.
there's a pulse in Cleveland. Now, let me explain, or let me try to explain.
And we spoke about this briefly for those of you who did check out our last live, but we're gonna get more in depth right now. Go ahead, Stefan.
All good. Let me try to explain what the thinking is. Ivan, me and you gonna argue about this. Not argue, but we might disagree. This feels like a strictly financial move. Josh Naylor is making $13 million this year, and he has a player option for $13 million next year. What I would say is they traded Josh Naylor because they realized, we don't really want to pay. This saves us a little more money. That's about $26 million saved. We could bring Santana in here. That's about $12 million. So in actuality, they saved themselves $14 million. Is it a needle mover? No. Santana's 39 years old. This is his third stint with the Guardians. We understand all of that. But understand it from the financial ramifications of Josh Naylor is going to be a free agent in 2 years. We can't keep him. He has power. He's productive. He's left-handed. He's going to get paid in a market that's looking for left-handed power. He's just going to get paid. It's going to happen. And so what I would say is, while we're all upset at the idea that, damn, why did they do this? Why they did it is because they're in Cleveland. And they had to. Do they want to? No. But that doesn't mean that they're not looking at it thinking, oh, damn, we can't get better. They're trying to get better by the margins. And I will tell you this. If you're penny pinching this much, right? Like we spoke about on the show the other day, this lets me know that you're closer to trading Jose Ramirez than you are to keeping him. Because Josh Naylor is a prolific, he's a good hitter in your lineup. He does the job. He's serviceable, right?
One of your better offensive players in that Guardians lineup.
Right. And behind Jose Ramirez, you can make the argument that he might be the second most important player in that lineup.
Right. Him, Steven Kwan.
Right, but I'm talking about strictly from a power and RBI standpoint.
Yeah.
He brought that thump, right? So what I will say is I kind of look at the Guardians and I'm like, well, you replaced one guy who has some level of production, power, all that, for a guy who's a veteran, who still had a productive season last year, but who clearly is not going to give you the offensive output that a Josh Naylor gave you. So that's why I said this feels strictly financial. And if I'm a Guardian fan today, I'm a little bit PO'd. I'm PO'd because whether they've said this out loud or not, and I want you guys to comment in the comments below, it feels like the beginning of the end for the Jose Ramirez era in Cleveland. And I'm not going to be the one I don't want to be the one to like spread rumors and put this out there like that. I guarantee you Jose Ramirez will be traded either at the deadline this year or in the offseason next year. They're going to move him.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to move him because what it says is we don't really have the financial wherewithal to keep a team around you. You're great. You're awesome. You're amazing. You gave us a discount, but we don't know if we're going to be able to put a team around you. So to that, you say what, man? Because I want to get your thoughts on all this.
Yeah, so I don't like what the Guardians have done. I know we were just talking about the fact that they decided to trade Josh Naylor to the Diamondbacks, but also how it began, right? And the fact that they decided to depart with a guy like Andres Jimenez. The one thing that we certainly saw not only in the regular season, but also in the postseason for the Guardians was that they had more than enough arms, and it was offense, and more offense in terms of what they were lacking. So the fact that you departed with not just one, but two guys in your everyday lineup and didn't really replace that with much outside of someone like Carlos Santana. Now I get it in terms of a financial standpoint and the way you explained it, Stefan. It was a business move, right? But what does this mean to the Guardians fan base, right? What does this mean to someone like Jose Ramirez, who took far less to stay with you guys? And you guys have still yet to put a team around him, I should say, that is going to be in serious contention. And we're talking about a team who just matched up well, I would say, and I'm a Yankee fan saying this, a Guardians team who matched up very well against the Yankees in the American League Championship Series. And this is how you follow that up?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else
Interesting.
to say, but I know the last thing that you did say was regarding Jose. I said this on, our live just a couple days ago, but for those of you who did not watch that, I'm going to say it here yet again. I agree with you, Stefan. I think that the Guardians should be picking up the phone and getting in touch with people when it comes to Jose Ramirez at the deadline. And if they don't move him by then, as you said, then the offseason, because let's be honest, man, the guy's 32 years old. He's still raking.
Yeah.
Listen, why let him rot in Cleveland? You
So-
guys aren't serious there.
Right now, I will tell you this. I would do it now. If I'm their general manager and I'm their team president, and if I'm somebody that has the wherewithal to do it, I would do it now. Right? And the one place I would trade him to, because I think he'd be perfect there, is the Orioles. You put Jose Ramirez with the Orioles, you put Connor Henderson back at shortstop, you trade a Jackson Holiday to Cleveland, you trade a Kobe Mayo to Cleveland, you try to replenish it that way. By the way, Jose Ramirez with the Orioles would be something serious.
Forget about it.
That you put him in the middle of that lineup with Adley, Gunnar. You know what I mean?
The crazy thing is, too, he's never really had any serious help since Lindor left.
And what you
it's just been him by alone.
What you also say, if you're the Orioles, is we're replacing what he gives us with what Santander gave us, and he's a better defender than Anthony Santander is. So you're getting better right there off the rip. If Jose Ramirez is your third baseman, you move Gunnar to shortstop full time. You know what I mean? Like, now you got a better team. And that should be what the goal should be.
Again, if Baltimore is serious, which they haven't really shown that much.
But they have the prospects to do it if they want to, is what I'm saying to you. Their farm system is loaded. They got the talent. Listen, at some point you're going to have to choose. Is it going to be Luis Castillo or is it going to be a guy like Jose Ramirez? You're going to have to choose one or the other. You can't do both. You're going to have to choose. And if you can't get the ace to sign with you, because it seems like Corbin Burns has rebuffed every single one of their offers if they even made an offer. He doesn't seem interested in going back, so.
Sox fan for life. We agree with you, by the way. Stefan and I are actually talking about Jose Ramirez now before it hits the mainstream media because it just wouldn't make any more sense than it does now, especially if you do it at a later point.
For sure. These two comments are hysterical. Send them to Vegas. Vegas barely got enough money to go to Vegas, brother. They're not trying to do that. Send him to the White Sox. Stop.
Nah, that's disrespectful to him.
Stop.
Go, come on now.
What I would say is,
I think Jose Ramirez, when he is actually moved, deserves to be moved to a contender.
I'll tell you this. You know where I'd like to see Jose Ramirez move to? I said Baltimore is one place. Jose Ramirez on the Mets just makes a whole lot of sense to me. Whole lot of sense. He just does. You take Vientos, you put him at first base, you know what I mean? If I'm the Mets, I'm trying to do that now. Fuck giving Pete Alonso all his bread. Yo, Vientos, you my first baseman. Yo, Jose, come play third. Know what I mean? I'm putting Acuna at second. And if I got to trade Ronnie Mauricio for some pitching, I'm here.
The Mets will easily have one of the best lineups in baseball. With that,
you might be arguing they might have the second best lineup in the National League.
Yeah,
outside of the Dodgers, because Philly's lineup is a lot of hit and miss. The thing with Jose is gonna hit doubles, he's gonna steal bases, he's gonna make you better, and that's kind of what the ultimate idea should be. Is you're like, yo, let's get better.
Right.
Let's create some more offensive versatility. To the 14 people watching in here, what is up? Leave a comment. Hit the like, subscribe to the channel. Let us know where you're watching from. Who are you a fan of? Let's have a convo tonight. Join the family. We don't bite. We want feedback. If you're a Guardian fan and you in here and you watching and you like, what the hell did my team just do? Holla at us. Let us know. 27-ounce therapy is here for you guys. We is outside. You know what I'm saying? And let me reset this by saying this. If you're a Diamondback fan right now, you're not all that mad at them resetting and going from Christian Walker to Josh Naylor. I'm not mad. I think that's a nice little get back. That's a nice little get back. If it's me, that's a nice little get back, bro. Right. Power from the left side. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're losing something defensively, but the offensive numbers are pretty comparable. And they play all the time. They both don't miss games. So
I want to show this comment here, Stephen. While it doesn't relate to what you're saying, but it is something that I truly appreciate. So Sox fan for life, shout out to you. He says he's watching the Celtics and listening to us right now. You're a real one, bro.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you.
That's dope, for real.
Nah, man. I think everybody got Jose going to the Dodgers. Okay, so what prospect? Give me a prospect package you putting together if you're the Dodgers to acquire Jose Ramirez.
And man, I also at this point, I don't doubt the Dodgers at all. Like I
don't either.
They figure out a way.
I don't either. But at some point, I don't know where the prospects are going to come from to cure the insatiable appetite that the Guardians are going to have if they put this dude up for a trade market.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You see that comment by Go? The Rangers won the World Series and have just stopped caring. Hey, listen, maybe that's also all they wanted, right?
Nah, but also, Go, there's something deeper to that, which we're not going to get into. There's going to be a Rob Manfred episode here coming in a couple weeks where we break it all down. Let's just say they were having television issues and their revenue wasn't the greatest. So that's kind of why they were kind of tied down by that. So I wouldn't say they stopped caring. I would say that, there was other circumstances that got in the way. Would be my point. Where does Muncy go? They like Max Muncy, and that's the thing. I don't think they trade a Max Muncy. Is my point. Like, I think if you told me today that Max Muncy is someone that they try and hold on to, I would agree with you. I don't.
Now, here's the thing about Max Muncy, though. Now, he currently fits what the Dodgers are looking to do going into 2025 and 2026. Mm-hmm. But he's 34 years old already. So realistically speaking, especially with the way that the Dodgers are, like they always replenish, right? Like they never lose out on, hey, we no longer have this guy, so therefore we're not going to do this. No, they always do that and more, especially when you least expect it. So I wouldn't be surprised if within the next 2 to 3 years, the Dodgers move on from Muncy and they've got something. It's like having a shiny new toy at third base all of a sudden.
I mean, well, they always got that. That's just being a Dodger executive and fan, and you always looking forward to them to do something special. That's just what they do. They're never going to stop replenishing. But listen, that's part of why the Dodgers are the Dodgers and everybody else is everybody else. But if you telling me you get to put this beast in the middle of somebody's lineup, I think they would drive the prospects to the airport themselves. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be honest. If you put this beast in the middle of somebody's lineup right now, and you told them you get to have this every day at third base, they will take it and they will run. They will gladly run. They will be out of here. Look at that. Listen, at this point, if you're Jose Ramirez, you know where you should be trying to go. I'll give you a list of teams. You should be trying to go to a list of teams as we watch Jose Ramirez continue to rate, because that's just what this dude does.
Is it safe to say? I think he's a 5'2" player.
Yeah, no.
I think he is.
Yeah, no. He's total. He's the dual threat. He's the total dual threat. The guy's just special. Look at that. Fastball outside corner, and he pulls it. Hold that. Take that. I'm pimping this in Oakland with nobody there. Hold that down. If I'm Jose Ramirez with another bomb, Jesus Christ.
That's just what he does, man. He's been doing that for years, literally.
If I'm the Guardians right now, my modus operandi is to do one thing. You want to do one thing. One, you want to get the best package you could, because this guy's a legit 5-2 player like you're talking about. And also, wherever, if you're the team that acquires him, whoever acquires him, you want to make sure that your championship window is still open. That's why I'm going to suggest something a little off the beat, like the Mets make sense. Boston, if they're continuing to spend money, they make sense. If they're willing to keep going, they make a ton of sense for him. The Dodgers, they make sense for him. If the Yankees don't find a third baseman during this offseason, Cash can put a package together. That makes sense for him if he wants to. Right? So I'm looking at it and I'm going, well, you could get a player dealt and you could get Jose Ramirez in here and he could have a real impact on whatever it is you decide to do this offseason, next offseason, and even at the deadline, and could change the trajectory of your franchise.
Mm-hmm. And the good thing is, too, the sooner the Guardians make that decision to want to move on from him,
yes,
and the sooner a team actually puts out a legitimate package to be able to land him.
Right.
A guy like Jose Ramirez, we spoke about, the talent and everything that he's actually able to do on the field.
Right.
He has a few years left on that deal. So it's not like this is just a 1 year, 2 year thing. Like, you're going to have the guy for some time.
So we did the math the other day. If somebody were to acquire him now, the years left on his deal is 4 years at $88 million. That's a bargain for the type of player he is. That's a bargain. You're telling me 4 years and $88 million is a lot of money for a guy that is productive as he is? That's pretty special. But let's reset this thing to the people in here that are watching. Hit the like, hit the share, comment down below, follow us, hit the subscribe button to the YouTube, hit the notification bell. Come on, man. Welcome to the family. Join the family. Let's hear your thoughts. If you got a comment, we in here. We'll hear it all.
We got a couple more here. We could get into, because I think we've got maybe 1 or 2 more topics.
Yeah, man, for sure.
But there's so many comments, so it only makes sense for us to stop, after every few minutes.
Yeah, just to read them. Let's see.
I would love for that to happen, Goat, but
oh man,
hopefully those sources are legitimate.
Not trading. I mean, hey, I get it. I'm not knocking it. Nah, Devers is not good at third, though. To me, Devers is a below average third baseman.
Right.
If I could move Rafael Devers to first base and create a lane where Jose Ramirez is my everyday third baseman, by the way, he'll rake at Fenway Park. He will. He just will. And Bregman. Also, I don't believe it's Bregman. I believe that Scott Boras pushing the narrative. Yo, let's try to get more money than Jose got.
Right.
Or let's try to get at the top of the market.
And also, too, you have to remember, Jose Ramirez is in a very unfortunate situation that he put himself in, right? Because he could have done what someone like Juan Soto did and said no to what the Guardians offered him and could have been like, you know what? I want to test free agency when my time is up.
And if he did, guess what? He'd have got paid a nice little lump sum.
But, and I said this to you the other day, Stefan, if he were to be moved over the next year or two, because he's 32, going to be 33 in another year, it benefits him now to be moved because he might be lucky enough to end up receiving like a 2-year extension in addition to the other years that he has remaining.
Yeah.
So, listen, man, it comes down to the Guardians at the end of the day, right?
And that's the thing that you got to be ready to be. You have to be willing to swallow the bitter pill if you're the Guardians. You got to be willing to swallow the bitter pill, which is, listen, we might not be able to win right now. And with that reality, he might be the best thing that ushers in the next little movement of Guardians baseball. Like, this may be the only thing that makes sense for us moving forward. Like, at some point, you got to have a conversation with yourself. what makes sense for us as an organization and what makes sense for him. Because he's been loyal to you. And the last thing you want is a Damian Lillard situation where the dude's just sitting there stuck and he can't move.
You know, speaking of him being loyal, I think there was a comment that I saw here earlier from Goat. Like, this is perfect, actually. He says, free Jose.
I think that's an
I
accurate
agree.
statement.
Free him until the Guardians decide to free him.
I now this is funny. This is funny, Goat. This is funny. That's funny. You might want to.
You know what that reminds me of? The Randy Orton. I hear voices in my head.
So you might want to get that checked out a little bit there, buddy. I don't know if I would be okay with voices in the head. That's a little.
We got
scary,
somebody
man.
new in here. He came in here with a very bold comment. Shout out to Nate. Nolan Arenado, you are a New York Yankee.
That deserves one of those. Hold on. You know what? It's just because Nate came in here with a banger. All right, Nate.
Yo, Nate, since you're new here, shout out to you. We appreciate the fact that you're watching and commenting. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not already done so.
And hit the like on the video and share the video. Let other people know we live. If you know anybody that loves baseball, Nate, we in here, brother.
I want to say something. I didn't share this with you yet, Stefan. My apologies. It's not going to be long. But since we're talking about shout out to, newcomers, I don't know if this person is watching, but I was actually at the supermarket earlier today, and I ran into a Mets fan. He was an older guy by the name of Willie. We had a conversation for a few minutes about the Mets. He spoke about the fact that I was wearing a Mets hat, and he's like, yo, how are you doing that? You're a Yankee fan. I said, listen, I'm a different type of Yankee fan, right? Like, I don't hate you guys. So we were able to have that conversation. Not just that, but he subscribed. So Willie, if you're watching, I don't know if you're watching live. If not, if you're watching after the fact, I want to give a huge shout out to Willie, who I met earlier tonight. Well, earlier today, rather.
That is dope. I like that, man.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that earlier, bro, but it literally just came to my mind as, we're acknowledging some of the newcomers here tonight.
What's up? Yordell? Is that how you say that? Yordell? Is there any news after Goldschmidt? No, not at the moment, Yordell, but I think they're going to do some other stuff. I think they're going to try and figure out what they're doing at third. They have a bunch of different ideas. By the way, hit the like on the video, hit the subscribe button on the video, and let people know that we're live, man, for real. We appreciate the comment. But there is no new Yankee news, no. Damn, we got Willie Adames in it. Wait, what?
I think he was talking about what I just said a minute ago about the dude who I met at the supermarket.
Oh, Willie.
Yeah.
No, I don't like the A's and the Yanks. I'm just wearing this to honor Rickey Henderson, and I thought it'd be fitting to wear an A's hat tonight.
Oh, okay, I see.
You know
His name is Yodel. Shout out to Yodel.
Okay, Yodel. Oh, you know what? Kind of like my boy Odell, so that's how I'm gonna think about it. But hit the like, hit the comment, hit the share button for sure. We appreciate you being in here tonight. What do you guys want to talk about? Like, what's on you guys' minds?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, brother. Thank you. No, thank you for coming. Hit the subscribe button. Welcome to the family. There is going to be a new sound effect. When you guys come in here and there are new subscribers, we're going to come up with a new sound effect. I don't know what it is yet, but for now, since we're trying to find one, I'm going to just play what I usually play, which is an air horn or something like that. So if you see this, or if you hear this, that's because there's a new subscriber in here, a new commenter in here, somebody new to the family, but of course.
This is a good comment, actually, if you want to bring that up, Stefan. And I also would like to hear what you have to say about this, because you being big on Twitter and just seeing some of the nonsense that you have to run into in addition. Oh! Nelson, shout out to you, bro, from Puerto Rico. This might be our first person who resides in Puerto Rico viewing us. I could be wrong, but we've never gotten an actual comment from somebody saying
That's
that.
dope, man. Yo,
Right. Hey, Nelson, let me ask you something. Are you someone who speaks Spanish primarily, or do you also understand English? Because one thing that I have noticed, Stefan, with the analytics is a lot of people aren't just here in America who watch the show.
No, yeah.
It'll be, even though Puerto Rico is a part of the US, but just in general, when I say that.
Yeah, for sure. Nelson, by the way, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on the video, share this with your friends, your family. Yeah, that's dope, man. Shout out to PR, bro.
So what I was getting into was this right here. GOAT, I think that we are not going to see the end of this, at least not right now. I think we're going to hear more of the BS, the nonsense, whatever you want to call it, the hating,
the foolishness.
Right, the foolishness. We could literally be here all night listening words when it comes to what you said there. Not because of you, but of course because of Mets fans specifically, and the fact that they really think that they're out here winning just because they landed Juan Soto for 15 years at the price that they landed him for. I'm sorry, you have not. And the moves that you have done, in addition to that, also say that you have not won much this offseason. So, listen, if you take that from a hating standpoint, I would say that you're wrong, because one thing that Stefan and I always make clear here on the show is the fact that we don't come from that type of standpoint, right? Nah. And while we see those comments, in under threads regarding on the post or the video, whatever it is it may be that we're consuming, we shake our heads at that, man. Like, I just want to remind people, man, like, I know it hasn't been that long since Juan Soto agreed to end up with the Mets, but it's been some time. Like, if you haven't gotten over that, get over that. If you haven't celebrated enough, when it comes to that, make sure you get your celebrations in, because enough is enough, right? Like, once the regular season begins, all of that shit, if you were to ask me, should be thrown out the window, because none of it matters until what you're able to do on the field as a team, I would say.
So I'll just bookend it, and I'll put a bow on your comment, because that was beautifully said. You out here killing the game. You know what? You out here killing the game. So for you, we're gonna do a little bit of, you know what I mean? Because that right there, I couldn't have said it any better. So that deserves one of these. Shout out to you for that. You deserve a standing no. You out here killing the game. I couldn't say it any better. Because I don't know what there is to say at this point. If you're holding grudges, if you're being resentful, if you're not letting go of the idea that he's gone, then that's it. Oh, Carolina.
Okay.
Nice. Listen, man. Welcome to the family, brother. This is a family. We are a family. You are now part of the family. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button on the video. That is super dope, man. I don't know if they didn't settle for Soto. They paid for him. They overpaid.
No, what I mean for when I say settle, I'm speaking in totality, Shrek. And I think you understood that. But if you took it a little too literal, I can't blame you, right? Those were my words. But in totality, that does not make them a better team overall, especially when we're talking about a team who just went on an amazing run to face the Dodgers, the eventual World Series champions at that, in the NLCS.
So why? See, I'll use the word settling, because Met fans, it seems like you're settling. It does, and I'm not here to criticize a fan base. You signed Soto. You did what every other major league team wanted to do. Whether you overpaid for him, that's another conversation for another day, and one that I don't feel like having, right? Your owner's rich for a reason. But the reason why it feels like we said that you settled is because you could have gone out, signed Soto, got Burns, did other things. If Soto's going to be your only big fish of this offseason, then that feels like a settled job to me. Mm-hmm. Because the one thing that you kept hearing, And he keeps saying is, yo, who's going to bat behind me? Who's going to bat behind me? Who's going to be able to protect me? Because there is no Aaron Judge walking through that door. Is it Pete Alonso? Is Pete Alonso going to be the guy where you circle back and say, you know what? Pete Alonso's the guy that's going to protect me. Because if it is, that's fair. But I don't think the word settling is a bad term to use, considering they have not done much to upgrade the offense since they acquired Juan Soto. Where's the next back coming from? You could have had Christian Walker on a decent deal, but you didn't want him. So I think settling is a bit of a good term, to be honest with you. Because what have you done besides that? And your owner's rich enough that if he wanted to, he could have gotten a couple bats in here. That needs to be pointed out. Thank you, Ivan. I think settling is the proper term until we see him do otherwise.
Mm-hmm. And shout out to GOAT as well, where that's really where it came from. I just wanted to add on to that.
It was a joke, Shrek. I get what you mean. It was more about saying, nah, I don't know about that. Because I don't know. I don't know. The majority of the league is
absolutely.
You know what? You ain't never lied, bro. That right there is a microcosm of what's wrong with the game. The majority of people are overpaying and settling and doing all that. It's the majority. It's not just one team in particular. Now, if you want a guy like Soto, you're gonna have to pay a premium for him. If you want Vladdy, you're gonna have to pay a premium for him. Now, speaking of Vladdy, I want to get into one thing, Ivan. If there's any Blue Jays fans in here, what's up? Welcome. We like Canadians too. Y'all good. Y'all good. Tim Hortons, those donuts, y'all here doing the Lord's work. So there was a report in The Athletic by Ken Rosenthal where he talked about the Blue Jays wanting to sign Vladdy to an extension. And the figure he brought up was like, it's going to start with a 4, but most likely it probably ends with a 5. You're probably going to have to give him close to $500 million or maybe more to get him to sign. So my question to you is, if the Blue Jays offer Vladimir Guerrero $500 million, does he take it?
That's a good question. But if you really think about it, I think other teams are going to be willing to match that if they know that that's what it's going to take to be able to land him, right? Now, the Blue Jays are a team who could certainly offer that, especially when you go back to last offseason and them being in the sweepstakes to land a guy like Shohei Ohtani. But, you know, I don't know. If I had to take a guess, I think Vladdy is a guy who, while, yeah, you know, you want to get your money while you can, especially while you're at the age that he's at, and that's pretty young. But at the same time, I also think that Vladdy is a guy who wants to contend. And I think during his days with the Toronto Blue Jays, he hasn't seen much of that. You know, yeah, they've made the postseason, but that's not saying much.
But this is the thing, right? Because this is where I think we need to have a realistic conversation of what does he prefer? What does he want more? Is it the money or is it the idea that you're going to be able to be competitive? Because to me, the question I'm asking myself right now, because if it was about you being competitive, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you could have asked for a trade a lot earlier than you did. And it seems like he was okay with just settling with the idea that, yo, this might be where I have to be. This might be where I have to, you know, where I might want to spend some time, especially if they have the money to pay me. Because at the end of the day, what does these dudes care about? They care about getting paid. So I don't know if the idea of him not get or him leaving money on the table is something he wants to do. What do you think about that idea? Because if the Blue Jays do throw $500 million at him, does anybody else beat that? He is a first baseman. You see what Pete Alonso's struggling to get. You see what a guy like Christian Walker's struggling to get. Like the days of Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder, and all those guys making all that obscene money, Albert Pujols, those days are over. I believe that for a fact. So if the Blue Jays are willing to give you $500 million, I think you have to consider it, especially at his age.
Mm-hmm.
To that you say what?
I think in terms of the amount of money, that's probably right around what I would say he's looking for. But I don't think he is only willing to accept that from the Blue Jays if they are the only team, not just the only team, I should say, who offers that to him.
See, but there's also a limited number of teams that can offer this to him. Is what
Yeah,
I'm saying to you. So if let's just say, for instance, as we look
I'm
at Vlad,
sure the Blue Jays are the most obvious team.
yeah,
I think the Red Sox are probably going to be in on him.
yeah,
The Yankees
the
wouldn't
Mets,
surprise me either. The Mets,
hmm
the Giants, they like to spend money, especially when a player is willing to give in.
but I think going to San Francisco hurts Vladdy. Look at that swing, Jesus Christ.
Right.
Um,
But I was just thinking off the top of my head in terms of teams that are going to be able to be within the ballpark of even having conversations with them.
no, I agree with you. So the question is, like, what does it mean? For example, right? Like this year, his second half was outrageous. His second half was unbelievable. Is that caught lightning in a bottle, or is that the Vladdy we can expect moving forward? Like,
I think he knows what 2025 is going to mean for him, not only in 2025 but moving forward, especially when we consider free agency. And I think he's gonna want to be able to do what he did in the second half, from day one.
yeah,
Because anything less than that is gonna ruin, I would say his maximum in terms of what he's gonna be able to generate.
yeah, that's a great point. To the people in here that are watching, man, I need you to do me one favor. Hit that like, hit that comment, hit the comment section, subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to our Instagram. I even put that banner. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe, man. We updating, we breaking news. We putting a lot of stuff on the Instagram as well, because we do put a lot of content on the YouTube. So we do want to give the Instagram some love. We're about to hit 80 followers on Instagram. So if you do have an Instagram account, go over there and follow us, and so we can get inventory of who's doing what. Also, that's where we're gonna put the live shows. We're gonna be able to update you guys on the idea of when we're going live, what we're going live, what we're gonna talk about, and what that night show is gonna be about. So if you're on Instagram, go follow us on Instagram after the show is over. There's 19 of you in here rocking right now. What's up with y'all? 19 of you on a Saturday night. That's big time stuff, man.
Shout out to
Appreciate you
everyone
guys.
right now. Listen, man, to everyone who's watching right now, in addition to what Stefan just said, grab whatever it is that you drink on the weekends,
Know what I
get
mean?
go to wherever you feel is most comfortable at the crib, and just rock out with us, man, because we're here tonight for a good amount of time.
For sure, man. And here's the beautiful thing. The beautiful thing is, well, you guys don't know it yet, right? But me and I set a goal for the amount of people that we were gonna have flocking to the channel. Yeah, yeah.
150, I think 200, bro.
I think he gets close to 170. What's up, Jose, man? You new in here, man. You new in here. Welcome. Hit the
Oh,
sub.
let's drop that. We need that. We got to stick to what you said, bro. Can't just say it and we don't follow through. We got to be able to follow through. Yo,
Yeah,
Jose,
man.
you're new here. Shout out to you, Jose, for watching live. Shout out for interacting. As Stefan said, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We appreciate it.
Hit the like on the video too, and let other people know we live, man. Yo, listen, if we get 20 people in here tonight, I tell you what, if we get 20 people on this live here tonight, we'll stay for an additional 20 minutes, because we usually do 2 hours, but we'll go to 220 if you could get 20 people in here.
Right.
If you know 2 people that love baseball, let's get these numbers. Let's get 20 people in here. Know what I mean?
You know what would make it even better? If we were able to get the amount of viewers at once to 24 in honor of Rickey Henderson.
Yeah,
How about
man.
that, bro? That would be dope.
If y'all can help us get the 24 viewers in here at the same time in the live chat, so we could throw 20.
This guy is trolling, bro. Yo, JJ.
What's
You're
up,
funny.
JJ?
You're funny. You're funny, dude.
Welcome, brother. Welcome in here. Welcome. You're new, so we're gonna do this for you. You new in here. I like that. You came in with a sense of humor. Hit that like, hit that comment, subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? Tell other people we in here live.
Can the Yankees get Bregman or Arenado?
I think if Bregman, see, because I don't know if the Cardinals are gonna want any of the Yankees trade pieces, but if you could get Bregman down to about 3 years and a reasonable amount of money, I think Bregman is more of a fit.
Yeah, I think for it to be something that the Yankees are willing to give into at this point after the moves that they've already made in this offseason, in terms of the amount of money that Alex Bregman is looking for and the years at that, especially, needs to come down significantly, excuse me. We're talking about a guy who's looking for a 7-year deal, possibly. That needs to come down to like maybe 3 or 4, if possible.
So if I'm being honest, it feels like, I like him. I like that take. If I'm being honest, Ivan, you probably gonna take a 3-year deal with a bunch of opt-outs.
Hold on, I have a question for that was by Shrek, right? Shrek, I know you're a Kansas City Royals fan. Yeah, are you trolling there? Are you trying to pull a JJ? Because Melendez, I know his offensive numbers weren't the greatest.
Nah, but there was a stat that this guy hit 400 runners on base last year. Because remember, we were at the game. You read that on the big board, and you were like,
yes,
God damn.
I did see that. You're right. I remember
you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, that's actually something that I had said.
That's one of Ivan's picks right there.
A few days ago. Now, the issue is, what would it cost?
We got the 20 in here. Throw a 2-0 in the chat for yourselves.
Shout out to everybody, man.
Throw a 2-0 in the chat. If you're new in here, put the number 20 in the chat. We got 21 in here right now for Paul O'Neill. If you a Yankee fan, you know what I mean? Got the Paul O'Neill number in here. But throw a 20 in the chat right now to the 21 people watching. Hit the like, hit the comment, all that. But Luis Arraez will be Ivan's dream at next year.
Man.
That's his dream.
Yo, listen, it's been a while since the Yankees have been able to say that you've got a guy who is going to hit above 300 and also finish the season with 200 plus hits. I mean, I know Derek Jeter did it for some time. I mean, Cano was another guy who was able to do it, but you don't really see too many players nowadays in the league, period, who are able to do that.
Because a lot of guys don't. Because here's the thing. Remember, what I told you is batting average is not valued. As sad as that is, look at Luis Arraez's batting average the last couple years. It's not valued. And you would think, damn, a guy like him, as skilled as he is with the bat, somebody would love to have him. Because to me, that's the type of guy that you win in the postseason with. The guy that's going to irritate pitches, going to take pitches, going to put together the perfect at-bat. He's, you know what he is? And this is going to sound hyperbolic to say, he's Juan Soto with less power. He doesn't strike out. He puts the ball in play. Now, he's not going to hit as many home runs as Juan Soto does, and he's not going to walk like Juan Soto is, but he's not going to chase balls in the dirt. He's going to do things that we're looking for in the modern game, that we need more of in the modern game. We just talked about Rickey Henderson. Rickey Henderson, to me, he would kill in the modern game, bro. Mm-hmm. He'd steal over 100 bases every year. Luis Arraez, back in the days, they would have found a way for that motherfucker to be on the field. You said 340, 350.
Yeah.
What? Excuse me? Yo, bro. Are you kidding me?
Nelson, he also says that he likes Luis Arraez for the Yankees. To play second base?
Nah, I don't know if I like him at second, but if you put him at first, or if you put him at first, now they're not going to do this now because they just acquired Goldschmidt, but this is where the Giancarlo Stanton contract really, really hurts, because if I could get a guy like Luis Arraez to play designated hitter, that would have been the move, man. Now I can't get him to play designated hitter, and it changes the way you can construct a team. Stop. If Verdugo hits 370 this year, I'm gonna take steps.
You might want to bring that down to more like what 250 maybe.
If he's lucky, he hits 260.
Right.
R.I.P. Rickey Henderson. Yes, man. Yes, JJ. Yes.
For yeah, sure, JJ. Man. We I don't know when you got here. Shout out to you again for watching us live tonight. But at the top of tonight's show, we did actually, pay our respects, and we opened up tonight's live, with just talking about Rickey Henderson and Henderson only.
Yeah, man. So, like, here's the thing. You know what I'm saying? I think in the modern game, we need made an impact. Yeah, man. And that when he played for the Mets later on in his career, he wasn't even at the peak of his powers when he played for the Mets. You know, it's crazy. He stole 39 bases the year he played for the Mets that year, and
yeah,
he was over 30 steals that year, I believe.
So he played with the Mets in '99.
How many steals he had that year?
How many steals in '99? He had 37 to be exact.
37.
Yo, that was a good year. He had an OPS close to 900, batting average 315, 37 stolen bases. Wow, that's crazy.
Yo, shout out to Rickey Henderson. Word up.
Listen, man, I don't know what that dude was doing and how he figured out to steal bases the way that he was able to do it, but
hey, man, I think he was.
That's how a lot of people say, like, oh, records that are set are eventually meant to be broken. I'm sorry, but this is one of those where I don't think it'll ever be broken. People just don't steal bases the same way that they once did,
That, you know what? This is funny. This is funny. This is funny. That's funny. That's funny. That right there, that's hysterical. That's you know what? You win comment of the night right there. We got to give you the front flex bomb. That's comment of the night. That's comment of the night right there. Your man said he was on America's Most Wanted for stealing bases. Yo,
shout out to Ray for this comment here, though. Have I mentioned that this is a great show? Yo, Ray, shout out to you, bro. I was introduced to you by Stefan, and yo, since day one, literally, like, you've been rocking with us ever since.
Another one. They're going back to back like DJ Khaled. Another one. We're gonna have to get that sound effect in here too. Don't worry, I'm gonna find it.
So we have a comment here by somebody whose name is familiar. So John, shout out to you. We've seen you on the show before.
Shout out to you, John.
Goldschmidt was not a trade. They signed him to a 1-year deal.
Yeah, 1-year deal, $12.5 million. They didn't make a trade. Do they want to make a trade? I'm pretty sure they do. But do they make a trade? I'm not sure where their appetite is necessarily to do that at this very moment in time.
Really? You got to meet Trump yesterday.
That's dope.
Yo, Sox fan for life. Like, without saying too much. Like, how was that,
What was the interaction like? Because that's kind of ill. Oh, no, they did make a trade. The Jose Trevino trade. They made that trade yesterday.
Oh, yeah, true. My apologies, John. Sorry. I just, you're right. I should have said that. And we did address that earlier tonight.
There's been so many moves, guys, that it's like it starts to run together after a while. You just start typing the names out. You forget who went where.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to be honest.
The good thing is, and here's the thing, if you don't watch the full show live, go back, watch it on your own time. I know it hits different when we're live, and the fact that you're able to interact with us with the way that you guys are doing right now. But go back, and if you guys feel like you want to hear our take on certain things, I promise you, we got into it.
Also, too, be available for them shorts, guys, because the shorts are really going to help you guys out, too.
Wow, look at this comment right here, bro, by Sox Fan for Life. I'm deployed right now. I'm on the Air Force.
By the way, Sox fan, how old are you, bro? And where are you right now? Not to put your business out there in the street. That's dope, man. For
No, the
real.
fact that this man is deployed right now and watching us, yo, that's
Yo,
crazy.
everybody throw an American flag in the chat right now
Oh,
for
by the way,
Sox fan for
Sox fan
life.
for life. Now that you actually did say that about yourself, we appreciate what you've been able to do, not only for the country, but for us. Thank you.
Word, man, for real. You protect our freedoms, all that stuff, man. Where are you at right? First of all, how old are you, bro? This man out here, he on the front lines out here. We just some, you know what I mean? We in the presence of royalty right now.
Yeah, I'm sure that must have been a pretty cool experience. The
That's
fact that he
dope.
was able to meet Trump.
Oh, you in the Middle East? You 35? Wow.
Middle East, man. So we got
Shouts to
Sox
you,
fan for
bro.
life in the Middle East right now who's working. And then earlier tonight, I don't know if he's still here. He probably is. We had Nelson from Puerto Rico. Like, this is nuts, man. We got people from all over.
All over. Word.
Shout out. I know we say this a lot, guys, but truly, shout out to oh man, sorry. Shout out to every single one of you guys watching right now. And if you're not watching right now, shout out to every single one of you who are also watching after the fact. Because one thing that Stefan and I have noticed over the past week or two is that a lot of people still rock with the content, whether it's live or not. And that means a lot.
Yeah, listen, man, you guys, if you leave comments on the videos after they're done, we will respond to them. We don't comments are comments no matter where we at. RIP, RIP, yes, sir.
Yes,
everybody right now, if you in this chat right now, throw a 24 in the chat right now one time for the OG Rickey Henderson, man. Throw a 24 in here, you know what I mean? That's
I still like the fact that you have that A's fitted on, bro. It's just perfect.
know what I mean?
I didn't think you was gonna bring that out.
I mean,
but then again, I shouldn't be surprised because one thing that you guys don't know, but I sure know, and Rick as well know about Stefan is this man probably has a closet full of freaking hats. And we're talking about like more than 20, I would say, right? 25,
yeah,
30?
I'm at 30 right now. I was at 50. I gave about 20 away. I was at 50.
Damn.
So yeah. Yeah, we still kind of racking up on the fitteds, man. No, you know what's dope about this, man, is this feels fitting to wear today. I'm not an A's fan, but if you from the Bay, if you from the Bay Area and Rickey meant something to you, man, yeah, like today got hurt because today hurts me and I'm not from the Bay. But like knowing, damn, I got to see Rickey Henderson play when I was young. Like I got to see his greatness, man. That's a beautiful thing.
We defending the freedom so all these guys can get the bags.
You know what? You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong, my boy. You ain't wrong.
Sox fan for life. I've got another question. And by the way, anybody else, if you guys have something that you would like for us to address, now is the time. We're gonna be here for a little longer tonight. But again, back to Sox fan for life. So when it comes to you watching the show, bro, is this something that you kind of like do as a way for you to like decompress and just do on your own, or have you actually put anybody else out there onto the show? If you haven't, listen, you alone is more than enough. Word. You're great. You've been rocking with us for a few days, so I hope you don't take that anyway. But just curious though.
Not like, and the thing that's beautiful, man, is that we thank you for staying up because we know it's late over there right now. So thank you for rocking with us, man. It means a hell of a lot. We are deeply grateful for the idea that you rocking. So that's super dope. We do appreciate you. Yeah, them 89 A's was something else, man. Jose Canseco, Mark McGwire, Rickey Henderson. Yeah. They had a team. The 89
Friendly
A's,
reminder as we get more of your comments in here, follow us on Instagram. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel as well. What were you saying about the 89 A's?
The 89 A's were nothing to play with, bro. The 89 A's would be the equivalent of what the Dodgers are today. They were that good. And the pitching they had Dennis Eckersley, Dave Stewart. Nah, they were loaded. The 89 A's ain't no joke, bro.
Interesting. So in a way, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but are you saying that we kind of like what's wrong with my throat, man? Sorry. Are you saying that we sort of like bring that New York feel for you? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
And where you from? You from New York and you grew up a Red Sox fan? If you are, I'm not hating. I'm just curious about what the know what I mean? Because
I
if you
mean, we
from New
we got
York,
some Red Sox fans in New York though too.
nah, of course. Listen, half of Washington Heights are Red Sox fans and they live in the
Yeah,
Bronx.
I feel like the three teams that I hear the most about here in New York, especially, are the Yankees, the Mets, and the Red
And the Red
Sox.
Sox, yeah, for sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. To the 12 people in here right now, if you're new to the channel, hit a like, hit the subscribe button, let the people know we in here rocking heavy.
Oh no, so he's not from New York.
Okay, cool.
Gotcha.
Listen, you part of the family anyway. It's a Northeast thing. It's a Northeast thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a Northeast thing. Um, so guys, I gotta ask a quick question. Like, what is one thing that you are looking forward to in the 2025 season? Whether it be your team or a single performer breaking out. Who are you looking forward to watching next season? I'm just curious on you guys' thoughts. As we do that, or as we wait for you to do that, rather, Ivan, I got a question for you.
Right.
Who is your guy you want to watch in 2025? Oh,
Okay.
wow. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good, man. I meant cruise, not flight.
By the way, guys, my apologies, man. I hate the fact that I got to clear my throat so many times, and the fact that I haven't coughed much tonight, thankfully, because that is so annoying having to stop. Sometimes when it is that bad,
Ooh.
but I'm starting to feel better. I've had a cough now for about 2 days, and it seems like I'd say if I give myself like another 2 to 3 days, I should be okay.
Cool.
So bear with me. My apologies. Hopefully, I don't sound funky on the mic. But I think
Nah,
I sound just like myself. But I just wanted to put that out there.
you good. Hold on, this comment deserves one of those. Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro.
Really, Jose? Interesting.
Okay. That comment
I'd
deserves
like
one of
I'd like
those,
to
bro.
know what else would you, or can you say rather, in addition to just saying that simply, because here on the show, and we've also had some of our viewers as well state that they think Kyle Tucker's out because the Cubs are not going to want to play that game in terms of how much and for how many years Kyle Tucker would cost.
Your deal with the the lodgings is tip for your boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so all right, Yodel, what I've been doing, tea, of course, I've had some hauls. I've also had a different cough drop as well. I've been taking some cough syrup as well. So I've been trying to do a couple of things to help myself feel better. And I think if you combine all of that stuff, over the span of what, 2 days now, as I mentioned, I think it's been doing its thing on me. So hopefully by like early next week, which is just a couple of days away, I should be straight.
Hold on, look who's back. Welcome back, bro.
Oh, shout out to Darl.
Welcome back, bro.
Oh, so I think I understand what that comment is in regards to. It's about what you had just said a couple minutes ago, Stefan.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna go with Keens over Sasaki because Sasaki's a rookie and we got to give him time to develop. But boy, when you look at some of Sasaki's stuff,
I got Paul Skeens for National League Cy Young in just his second season. Call me crazy. It is what it is, but
hold on a minute, bro. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Whoa. Hey.
Some early predictions. I'm sure at some point later in the offseason, we'll have an actual video on that.
Nice.
But since we just brought that comment up there, I just had to add on to it.
I like Dylan Cruz. I like this. I like him. I like him in the national system. He's solid. I like him a lot.
Yeah, you know what's funny?
Come on.
Speaking of the Nationals, you had been telling me about the Nationals since earlier this year when it
No.
comes to everything that they've been able to add on to the roster, not
Right.
just at the major league level, but also in terms of their farm system as well.
So Dylan Cruz is a guy that when I watch him play, I kind of get excited. Like for everybody in here, if you haven't seen Dylan Cruz play, do yourself a favor and go YouTube some of this dude's minor league numbers or go YouTube some of his minor league stat. That guy is legitimate. He's legitimate. Arenado maybe to the Yanks. Oh, you got Dylan Cease. All right. All right. So you like
Who
Arenado?
might be on the move, actually.
Yes.
Yodel, if you didn't already know that.
Yes. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they got a couple other moves up their sleeve. I don't think they're done. Are they done with the majority of the heavy lifting? Yes. Are they done completely improving the roster? No, because I think they're looking for a sixth starter. 100 plus Ks and 66 in. Yeah, that's. Yeah. So they're looking to do some other things. Doll. I don't think they're done. The one thing I would say is, are they done acquiring multiple pieces? Yes, I think they're down to maybe one or two more pieces, maybe a lefty out of the bullpen. If you could get Nolan at a cheaper price, they do it.
Wow, how about that?
Woo!
Possible.
The question is, does he do it in Seattle or is he doing it somewhere else? Just thought I asked the question. Man, the comment section is rocking in here again tonight, y'all. We appreciate you guys, man. For real. Comment section is hopping.
What he says on a light move for 3, Justin Turner.
I mean, I don't know if I'm giving him 3 years, but I give him a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
And it depends where, because at this point, I don't think you're putting Justin Turner at third base. I don't think he has the range for that. What I want to see them do is give
Justin Turner. Sorry, Stephen. Justin Turner, he's entering his age 41 season, by the way.
41?
Yeah, he's 40 years old as we speak. 40 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know he was that old.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He's been around for a long time when you really think about it, especially going back to his early days with the Mets and being a part of helping the Dodgers get to who they've been for a while now. Man. But even being there before then.
We old. In Seattle, you want to see Justin Turner back in Seattle? Okay.
No, I think he's saying because you asked where do you see Logan Gilbert ending up though.
Oh, so you guys still see Logan Gilbert in Seattle? Yeah. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, me too. Wow, damn.
Right, yeah. I if I had to take a guess, I would have thought like maybe 38 off the top of my head, 39. But I certainly did not think that he was already 40
I didn't know he was that old. That's kind of crazy, yo.
Yeah.
Wow. What is the trade that was saying? Yeah, they did.
You know what, Doro? And you might agree with this, Stefan. We talked about it earlier tonight. Mm-hmm. Especially when you consider what the Guardians have done with moving on from Jimenez and trading him to the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
And what we found out about Josh Naylor being traded to the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
I think a move that fits what Daro just said in the comment section is Jose Ramirez to the Yankees. I think that certainly brings that feel.
Yeah.
Now, it won't happen, but I think it is fitting for what he said.
For sure. Jose Ramirez with the short porch in Yankee Stadium. If he averaged 39 in Cleveland, where it's cold as all get out in friggin' the beginning of the year, he can do damage in Yankee Stadium, and there's nobody like Aaron Judge in the Cleveland Guardian lineup. Ooh, Zach Wheeler.
Right. That's good.
I'm not mad at it, but I will tell you, don't forget about the brother named Shohei Ohtani in Los Angeles. That's just my guess.
Who knows what he has up his sleeve, man? Like,
Yeah,
honestly,
don't
after what we've already
dismiss.
seen, what we've already seen actually in his career leading up to the 2024 season, and what
Yeah,
he did this season at that,
yeah. I wouldn't say don't dismiss Shohei because
I
listen,
wouldn't put a Cy Young award past him. I think it's very possible.
at that point, that's probably the only thing left. I got the chip. I hit 50-50.
Right?
What else
Multiple
I got
MVPs
left?
already. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and that's why I think ultimately he's gonna end up hitting exclusively. I don't think he does any more. Like, I don't think he ends up pitching later on in his career. But damn,
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Stefan, because I've been saying this for a couple of years now when it comes to Otani, is the fact that there's gonna come a time where he has to pick only one, right? Because that's just how the human body works.
I wouldn't say that, doll. That's a bit of a misnomer. They're consistently in the highest payroll projections every year. That by them saying that, they're proving they're all in. You just signed Max Fried to an 8-year, $218 million deal.
I have
You
a
just
question though, Darl. So are you referring to this offseason or in general? Because the one trade, now I know he's not with the team anymore, so it no longer makes sense.
right.
But what the Yankees did last offseason to Juan Soto,
That's an
well, to
all-in
land Juan
move.
Soto, that was exactly what you're saying right now.
Right.
So I just want to understand, like, because I know a lot of Yankee fans, they like to not only talk about now, but talk about what things.
Nah, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
so
say
then
in general.
we disagree then, Dar. We disagree because trading for Juan Soto last offseason was exactly that. Hence, where they were able to actually end up in 2024, which was in the World
World
Series.
Series. Yeah. And listen, there's another trade. Listen, Cashman, there's another trade coming. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know where it comes from, but there's something coming. So we just have to be prepared for that at some juncture. Because I don't think he knows he's not done. Because to me, the offense still feels thin. The lineup still feels thin. If he can go and acquire somebody else to lengthen the lineup, I think he does it. Yeah, but that's not always easy to make. And the reason why it's not always easy to make is because people have no trade clauses. You have
Right.
to line up with terms of prospects. You have to line up in terms of money. You have to line up in terms of what makes sense for both sides. It's easy to say he needs to make a big trade, but how do you line up? Like, let's look at Nolan Arenado as the example, right? Like Houston and St. Louis, they matched up on money. I'm sure players were exchanged. Like, that was the perfect lineup. But if the player says no and he vetoes it because he has a no trade, then you can line up perfectly all you want at that point. But if the player has all the power, then I guess we're kind of in a tough spot.
The one thing that I would say though about Nolan Arenado and the possibility of him maybe even becoming a Yankee, if
Right.
that does turn out to be true, that says a lot about his relationship with Paul Goldschmidt, man. That means
Yeah.
those dudes are like this. Like,
And it would take a convincing point from Goldie to go say, hey, yo, go get Nolan. I think he got some years left because I've been with him in St. Louis these last few years. Right? Because I don't think if you gave the Yankees truth serum, they'd want to do that. They've been staying away from the whole Nolan Arenado idea. So I think if Goldie goes to you and says, yo, I think he could help us, he could get us to a point where he's at least serviceable offensively enough. And defensively, Nolan's a human vacuum. Like, the dude gets to everything. Backhand, in the hole. He literally gets to everything. So it would take some convincing from Goldschmidt to say, this is a player you need to go get in order to help our chances, especially if you're looking to have a premier defender at third base. That's probably what has to happen, because I don't think the Yankees are too keen on the idea of trading for Nolan Arenado and then having to pay the majority of his salary down as well. Because like I did tell you guys, they're already at $298 million right now as it is. So I wonder if there's going to be a point where they're like, all right, we're already over this luxury tax. We can't go over any further, which is why I think a trade of Stroman has to happen first, and you have to move Trent Grisham somewhere. That'll be almost, if you could get $15 million cleared off, then I think the Yankees can have some level of conversation. But I don't think they do it where they are now, no. Mm, yeah, they offered Stroman and were told no, but you can also offer something else where the Yankees take on more money and they offer something else. And the thing about Marcus Stroman is, I look at him as having a 1-year deal for $18 million. I know it says 2, but Ivan, tell me if you agree with this thought. He has a 1-year deal, but he has an option for the second year. But it's contingent on him getting to 140 innings. If whoever acquires him says, "No, we're stopping you at about $120," you're not getting to the 140 innings.
That would
the
be
option.
foul.
I mean, we've seen teams do it.
Yeah.
Or what a team might do is say, "Hey, we're just going to put you in the bullpen as like a long man, so you cap out at like 70 innings." So the
Yeah.
option doesn't vest, so you become a free agent in 26.
See, now here's the thing, though, right? If the Yankees are to depart with Marcus Stroman and he ends up elsewhere, now, as you mentioned, we've seen teams do that before.
Right.
Here's the thing, though. Marcus Stroman is the type of guy where he'll air shit out on social media. Like, it may backfire for that team.
That's not my problem. My problem is I'm trying to get your money off my books.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm just saying from the standpoint of how that could actually turn out overall on both ends.
Yeah, but also you got to understand, if we're going to say it's a business on one hand, we got to be able to say it's a business on the other hand as well. The Yankees are trying to do what's best for the Yankees. You're solidified next year at 18 point whatever $million. You're getting paid.
Or you know what? How about this? If you're Marcus Stroman, how about you go out there this season and you do whatever it is that it takes to show that you are worthy of that option?
Pitch better. Yeah.
Point blank simple. Like, period. It doesn't get any better than that.
Pitch better. And listen, I think it's an indictment on him that he didn't pitch in the postseason at all. That they didn't trust him enough to pitch in the postseason. It's just there's a marshal in town and things.
A lot of people feel that way, man. And while it was a bold move, don't get me wrong, but you know, I think we
a
have
Met fan?
Time. That's a good question, Stephen.
You a Met fan, Jose? Because if you are, shout out to you, man.
Yeah. But I think we're a couple of years away from that being the norm, I should say. Right. I think the Yankees are still the better team. Whether I'm a Yankee fan or not, I'm actually able to sit here and say that with no problem. Mm-hmm. But listen, if Steve Cohen and David Stearns and the Mets organization is serious about being the team in New York, that's why I give them a couple of more years to be able to reach that status.
That's a good point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We spoke about that earlier tonight.
Haven't done enough.
They have to do something because you look at the division you're in, the Yankees ain't going nowhere. Boston ain't going nowhere. Toronto's Toronto, but you have to do more. Especially on the pitching side. So,
all right. So we did agree. We are at 2 hours and 2 minutes.
2 minutes right now.
So that leaves us with about 18 minutes because we agreed to do 20 additional minutes on top of the 2 hours, right?
If we got the 20, yep.
So while we still have these 18 minutes here with you guys, shout out to everyone who's watching live on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're on Instagram, right, we also break news there. So make sure you follow us on Instagram at 27outs3C.
For sure.
Hey, look who's here. You made it, TD. Hey. TD, I'm sure you just heard what we said. We're here. We've been here for some time now, right? But we have a little more than 15 minutes left. So, get into the chat, which I'm sure you've already wasted no time doing that.
I need Jeff Hall.
Nah, no need to say sorry, bro. Listen, I hate to sound like a broken record, but I have to say this, right? Especially when someone like TD feels this way. We appreciate whenever you guys get here, whether you're here from the beginning, whether you're here during like the middle point of the show, or even now where we have less than 20 minutes left and we're still here rocking with you guys. So TD, don't worry, bro, but we appreciate it.
Listen, a viewer is a viewer, bro. Like, it don't matter. You know what I mean?
And also to TD, to give you some credit as well, you have shown us that you're a real one.
You've been rocking. You've been rocking. You've been
No
rocking.
worries.
You've been rocking. Any Jeff Hoffman news? We don't have any. You respect you dogs, especially. You know what? Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. We don't have any Jeff Hoffman news, but I think his market is going to heat up. I think the reliever market is the next market that heats up. With the majority of these first basemen going today, the Frazier market is the next market I see that heats up. And I think,
I could see January being all about pitchers, legit, especially relievers.
Yeah, I do think there's gonna be a couple trades out there though. That I do think. I think we're gonna get some trades, but we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. I'm hearing more and more about Bregman. Yeah, I
really.
I've heard something similar to that. Like there's been a connection there. The question is, does Boston want to pay the premium price that he's asking for at this point? Which is until I see Craig Breslow and his staff put a contract on the table, that feels like all fodder to me. Real quick, guys, to the 14 people that are in here right now, hit that like, hit that comment, hit that subscribe button. Follow us on YouTube, because if we get to the next goal, which is 150 subs, y'all gonna get the air horn. You know what I mean? So help me hit the air horn. Get us to 150 subs, man. We appreciate you guys. You would do it for him. Wow. Okay.
Okay. So that means Red Sox fans Sox fan for life says he's not a big fan of Bregman playing second base.
So we got beef in these Red Sox cyber streets.
Right.
Okay.
But it sounds like, in Sox fan for life, I understand where you're coming from, but it sounds like you're also okay with Alex Bregman ending up with your team.
I mean, who wouldn't want him, right?
Tonight has been big, man. I'm glad we actually chose to go live tonight. Not only for ourselves, but to be able to interact with you guys as much as we have here.
For sure, man. For sure. TD says, son ain't playing around, bro. Christian Campbell will be off second baseman. Rafi at first. Costas will be traded. I guarantee that. Wow. Okay.
There's a lot of confidence in that comment, TD.
Hold on. That deserves one of these, man. This too.
What did he say?
You know what I mean? What? He said that with his chest. You know what I mean? Thank you, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. I've been watching the stream all night. Coolest idea I saw streaming. Ooh. By the way, yo mama, I like that, bro.
That's an interesting name there.
Hold on. Welcome to the channel, bro. Like, welcome.
Yo, you know what that name actually reminds me of? And this is actually going back some years.
By the way, hit that like, hit that comment, hit that subscribe button, yo mama. I like that username, bro.
You ever used to watch the show Your Mama on MTV? I think the host was what was this guy's name? Help me out.
It wasn't Nick Cannon, was it?
No. Wasn't it like Valderrama or Wilma Valderrama? Something? Yeah, Wilma Valderrama, man. Yo, I know this is a baseball show. We're coming up on the end. We got some more baseball stuff, but with something like that coming to mind when we get into that comment, I'm like, yo, I remember watching that show when I was younger. Your Mama.
Yeah, man.
That show was funny.
He said, yo mama, dog, damn.
These dudes, they used to go to like each other's crib to like investigate and get dirt on each other. And then it was almost like a rap battle in terms of like just going at each other for the things that they found. Yeah.
Listen, man. We won subscriber away, man. We have 149 subs right now.
Oh, that is true. We are at 149. Do I hear 150? 150.
Yeah, man. Somebody get us to 150. If you know somebody that loves baseball, before the stream ends, if we get to 150, you know what I mean?
That would be dope, actually.
That would mean a lot to us, bro. Yo, mama, yo, that comment, that username is I got a question for y'all. Who's the one player in baseball that you hate but you wish was on your team?
Good question. I don't think I have anyone in the league who I hate, but since we have some Red Sox fans here tonight, and since one of your guys, you know where I'm going with this,
Bobby?
one of your guys who Rafael Devers hits extremely well against Garrett Cole. I mean, if there was a trade-off that we could make where we could still remain with Garrett Cole, but somehow add, Rafi to the lineup, I would appreciate that to just finally put an end to that.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest, like Jose Ramirez is the guy for me because every time this guy sees the Yankees, he goes off.
Mm-hmm.
He goes off. Oh wow, he got a little respect for the captain. I see that.
But you know what's great about Derek Jeter is the fact that a lot of people will say that, but they always end it with like, I respect
the dude though. Yeah, word.
Right. Sox fan for life says Altuve.
I think the whole nation agrees with you, bro.
Yeah, as a Yankee fan, I could actually see Yankee fans who can hate Altuve too.
For sure. Yeah, Altuve is. Nah, I don't hate Alex though.
I don't.
To me, the one that I really hated was Correa.
Yeah, because not only did you cheat, but you also ran your mouth.
And then you denied the fact that you cheated on some. Oh, we didn't do it. We didn't break no rules. We didn't like yo dog. Hold on, wait, what?
By the way, Stefan, I have to throw this out there because we literally just got into it about a minute ago, but we hit that mark. I think you know what it means.
Oh yeah, we hit the mark.
We hit the 150 mark. Shout out to everyone.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
For helping us get to that point.
Shout out to y'all, man, for sure. The way he sits in the box and the way he runs the bases up. Know what I mean?
Correa is just
Bryce, Bryce could rub you wrong if he's on the other side, man.
I like Harper.
I do too, but Bryce could rub you wrong if he's on the other side, though.
Harper, I'm gonna be honest, man. I remember watching Bryce Harper back when he was a teenager.
Yeah,
like before he had even gotten drafted. Because I remember, because just to kind of tell you guys about myself briefly. So I played high school baseball, right? The last time I had played baseball was up until like the age of 18. But during my 4 years in high school, Bryce Harper was the guy that was in the magazines. They would talk about what he did at home run derbies, especially, I believe at the time it was in Tropicana Field. So for me, it all begins going back to that point. But if you only look at, what he's done as a major leaguer, depending on who you're a fan of, I could see how somebody could hate him.
Yeah, but Bryce is a baller, though. Like in the playoffs, those home runs he hits at Citizens Bank, he sends that place into a different dimension when he hits those balls out of the ballpark.
Yeah, this right here is another one that makes sense to me as well. A lot of people dislike Manny Machado.
Mariano, I hate him more, but since Big Pot. Yeah. Listen, even the greatest has a bad day every once in a while, but he was the greatest to ever do it. So you can hate him. You can hate him, but I'm pretty sure that there's
I like all the
your mama. You know what? Me and you, we could rock. Cause I feel the same way. We could rock. I feel the same way. Like, I wonder if there was an old like jerk off team who'd be on it.
Ooh, that's a good take.
Ooh. I mean, with the Twins looking to, save some money, I don't know if the Astros do it though.
Right.
You
And
know
also
who's
too, if the 200 million that Alex Bregman is looking to sign for, I don't really see how Carlos
that?
Correa's deal would make sense for
Yeah, I
them.
don't know. I don't know if they would do that, but it's a nice thought.
Yeah.
Carlos Correa would be a good fit for like if the Mets don't do nothing at third, I could see Carlos Correa playing third base for them. You imagine that? Carlos Correa, Francisco Lindor.
I mean, when they actually thought that they had him, I thought it
Hey,
was going to be
fraud.
good. Yeah, that's another guy who a lot of
Yeah.
people hate. Even not just during his career, but even now, even as
Mhm.
a broadcaster, a lot of people come for A-Rod.
For sure. A lot of people want Correa on the Yankees, like my boy Mike. Shout out to Mike. He's another day one. He's
Really?
dying. He's dying for Carlos Correa to be on the Yankees. He asked me about it every offseason like clockwork. Yo, any chance they circle back to Correa and do Correa? I'm like, no. They're not doing Correa, man. They barely want to make the moves they made now. They're not trying to add no more crazy payroll.
Mm-hmm. Are you saying that because of the bat flip, or are you saying that because of what he got into with? I believe it was Odor, right?
Oh, this is fun.
I've seen that movie. I know what you're talking about.
That's funny. That's funny.
TD says, you see the comment by TD? He says, Ivan, your boy A-Fraud. Yo, man, I'm sorry for being honest. I could really sit here and be like, yo, I just hate the guy and I've never acknowledged him, but that would be a lie. I want to be as honest as I can be here on the show with you guys. But the good thing is, you guys know that I'm not the biggest fan of him anymore. So that's where I stand.
Yeah, man. Steroids will do that to him, man.
So it is because of the Oto. Yo, that is funny. Listen, your mama, I can't believe I have to address you that way. Your mama. Yo, whether you feel that way about Jose Bautista or not, the one thing that we do know is he will have one of the most memorable home runs of all time in baseball history, without a doubt.
So I have to interject here. I haven't heard much of that, TD. You're in the market, so you can tell me more, but I haven't heard much of that. For me, it feels like it's Orioles and Giants sitting in the catbird seat right now. And plus, if they were gonna do Burns, I felt like they would have done it already. How much money would you go, TD? Yeah, how much money would you go, TD? Because would you go the 7 8 years he's asking for, or would you want it to come down?
Yeah, that's a great point, Stefan. I think it comes down to the amount of years.
Lou Maloney was on EEI. Okay, I know who that is. Yeah,
That's a
he's
little
going
low.
7 years.
That's the little
Wow.
low because just a friendly reminder, TD. Max Fried got what was it?
If
8
Max
years
Free got
for
8 at
218.
218, yeah, he's gonna want. If you go in 7 years, he's gonna want at least 230,
Corbin
240.
Burns is a better pitcher, so it's gonna cost more than that.
He's not getting 9 years, bro. He's not getting 9 years. He might not even get the 7 years he's asking for. To be quite honest, that feels kind of rough too at this point.
7 years at 220 just sounds a little too low.
What is 7 years at 220 max out to math wise? What is that? What's the AV? Yeah, because he wants more than 220. Yeah, Boris can now score he wants. That don't mean he's gonna get it. Yeah, what's the AV on that? Because that
Like
feels
31, I think I'm looking at here.
right. So that's 31 million. So what if Free get? Free got what? 27? I could see it. But he wants more years though.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets 9 years though. 9 years is a lot. Bueller boys.
Well,
You really
you
want
say
Walker
that
Buehler.
with a lot of confidence, Sox fan for life. You got to remember now, Walker Bueller, he's got a little something,
And his injury
But to
history
sit
is
here and say that he is the answer,
yes.
I don't know, man. But listen, if the Red Sox could acquire him, no hate from my end.
For me, the Red Sox focus should be Burns and Roki Sasaki to finish off this pitching expedition. If you're
This
gonna
is
go
a good
anywhere,
comment here by TD. Bueller's an injury away from an AARP card. Yeah, I agree with TD.
We'll pay Burns the most if he wants.
That's something that you've said, Stephen.
I've said this from the beginning, but it doesn't seem like they're willing to go there unless they lower the years. I don't think AAV is the issue, the average annual value. I think it's the length of the contract that's the issue, and that's going to be where we run into a bit of an issue. Sasaki is the key for the Red Sox extremely. I mean, so is the rest of baseball. So it's about who you know what I mean?
We actually got into that earlier tonight as well, TD. If you want to go back and check that out.
For sure. Hey guys, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know if we're gonna get on again before the holidays. So if we don't have a Merry Christmas, we will be on after Christmas more than likely, and that is when we're gonna be doing the Robert Ventura Grand Slam single, the watch along. So if you guys want to come back for that, that is probably going to be, when is that? When is Christmas? Christmas is on a Wednesday.
On Wednesday, right?
Right. So if we come back, that'll be a Friday. Or if you guys want to do the Saturday, December 28th, we'll watch the Grand Slam single, Robert Ventura, Mets versus Braves, 1999. That is the next video we plan to put out. If there are signings, what we might just do is we might just hop on the Instagram and do a little live quick reaction to the signing. So if you're not following us on Instagram, please go do so right now. If you're not following us on YouTube, please go do that as well. So, you know what I'm saying? You guys have a wonderful holiday. And as I like to say, we ain't got to go home, but we got to get the hell up out of here.
Have a good night, everyone.
Peace.
Mm-hmm.